good afternoon, good evening, everybody. However you happen to be watching and or listening to this, I want to welcome you to the latest episode of the Gaming Circle podcast. The podcast where this week we are excited because we get the chance to chat with some folks. We're going to probably bring you some really interesting games in the near future, maybe games that are not on your radar, but we'll get into all of that. I'm, of course, Mr. Host, Mr. K. Asante, TK Asante, and all the places we communicate these days on discord.gg/TGCP. And I'm, of course, joined by my co-host, Mr. Everborn Saga. Good morning, sir. How are you doing this morning?
I'm all right, man. I'm all right. Just trying to get through the weekend. Busy work week. Busier work week coming up, and you know how that goes.
Indeed. But yes, I appreciate you being here. We're gonna get into it as we do. I'll even welcome the third chair, if you will, Mr. Lucius Augustus, who joins us whenever he feels like it, but asks you not to follow him. Morning, sir. How are you?
Yes. The only place that you can find me is either on Discord or in real life. I don't like social media is kind of a crazy place. So,
Indeed.
But yeah, this week has been very interesting. A lot of stuff has happened on in the gaming news that we definitely have to talk about. Some behemoths are making moves, and the question is do those moves matter?
But before that, I am happy to welcome Mr. Fabian Willis to the show, who is a developer that you and I, Lucius, came across during our time in Los Angeles last June, and who purports to have a very, very awesome and interesting looking game that we're going to get into. Fabian, welcome to the show, sir. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
So this is going to be a little different, folks who are home watching. And by the way, thank you all so much for watching. I see the chat is already full with folks in here jumping on and welcoming us as you do every Saturday morning. Hit the like button if you haven't done so already. All the other spiel, you know what I'm supposed to say. So please do that. If you have not hit that like button, that means not enough people are watching us. Go ahead and help us out. Beyond that, we're going to get into it. We're going to keep it a tight show today. We're thinking about 2 hours or so. So the first hour, I want to talk about Fabian and his game and get into it with him. And then after that, we'll get into the broaders that I know, Lucius, you've been itching to discuss as well. But first off, thank you guys so much for being here. Folks in the chat, we see y'all, all the people who always join us every morning. I see the chat's already lively. All right, so let's get into it first and foremost with Fabian. Let me put a little bit of a backdrop on the screen here. This might help the conversation. And of course, in so doing, I dropped these fine gentlemen. There we go. So we're talking about Demi and the Fractured Dream. But before we get there, Fabian, how about you tell us a bit about yourself, how you came to be part of this project, sir?
Yeah, so back in 2018, I was working retail and trying to do game design on the side. So I was like learning Blender and all that good stuff after work and stuff. And I would stream that process on Twitch. And that's how I ended up meeting my good friend, Chris, who was initially a viewer of the stream. And he noticed that, I wanted to make this game and he offered to help out. And then fast forward a few years, we got reached out to by a publisher and they wanted to just help us make the game as well. And that's how we ended up with Annapurna. And I was able to quit my job. Chris was able to quit his job and make this full time. And then, yeah, here we are.
That is an awesome story, sir. So go ahead, everyone. You had a question.
No, I mean that's like literally living the dream, right? Like you started it out of a passion for doing it, right? There's no sort of money involved at that point, and then you found someone that believed in you, that wanted to join the project, and then the two of you guys get noticed by, publisher who wants to who allows you to do it full time, right? And so nothing but kudos and respect for that. So I do have a question. How long has it been in full production? So from the story you told, it seems as though you were kind of doing it in the off hours, but once you were able to do it full time, how long has that process been? And what is it like to take it from the sort of alpha stage to where you're in full production, building towards a final release?
So I guess officially it started in 2021. That's when the publisher got involved. Before then, it was really just in 2018, I was more so learning how to do art as a whole. I didn't really have any experience with art at all. And I was making characters, and Demi was one of the first characters that I made, and he went through a bunch of different iterations until he became what he is now. But I didn't know at the time that it was going to be this game. I really was just more so making art for something that I didn't know was going to turn into a game. And 2021 is when it really was solidified. Okay, this is the point where we're making this game.
Okay. And you do the art and animation, and your partner does the programming, or do you guys all do both?
So I'm the lead design for the game as well as the lead artist. So I'll do the characters and some environment stuff. But then we have an animator, Peter, who does all the animation now for the game.
Okay.
He's been doing it for a while. And Chris is the lead coder as well as the producer. And we have another coder, 8, who is pretty much covering a lot of bases as well, more than just coding. Sammy, she's another artist. She does the environments for one of the kingdoms in the game, and she's knocking it out. Brian, he's our level designer, so he'll do the block meshing and kind of come up with ideas as well for just puzzles and all that. Isaiah, he's one of our newest. He's also helping out with code. I want to make sure I'm not forgetting anyone.
Well,
yeah,
so
I think that's it.
Yeah, one thing I'll say is because I played the demo, and I love the puzzles because they don't, there's no one in your ear telling you where to go, right? And I feel like that's something that a lot of modern games are kind of suffering from. The yellow paint, the companion that sounds like they're from Southern California telling you, hey, you should look in this direction. And so no, and the puzzles are simple after you find them out. The puzzles that are in the demo, I'm like, what am I supposed to do here? And then when you figure it out, it's a eureka moment, and it's super simple, but and I'm sure the puzzles get more complex, but they don't seem that way off the rip. So I love that kind of design, right? When you have the eureka moment of figuring something out.
While you're having that conversation about the demo, we did get a gentleman that did post the demo online. So while we're talking here, this is the actual demo. This was you guys added this to Next Fest. It was available on Steam for some time during Next Fest. So hopefully folks got a chance to play it. If you didn't, this is a quick little video showing you what basically you missed. Fabian, why don't you talk to us about tell us the TLDR of this story. What is this game about? What kind of game is this? Let us know, what you were going for, because I see a lot of interesting juxtapositions and a lot of inspirations, as it were, in what we've gotten a chance to the demo we got a chance to play. So
Yeah, for sure.
let us know, let the folks know.
Yeah, so definitely a bunch of inspirations for this game. It's a classic love letter to, like, the classics in GameCube and PlayStation 2. I know it's crazy to say those are classics now, but
Yeah.
it's those
You're
are
among
like,
graybeards, sir. Don't worry.
for
Keep
sure. So, like, of course, the Shadow of the Colossus has some inspiration. Jack and Daxter, yeah, those are some big ones that really helped to inspire the game. But in terms of like story, you're playing as this character who has this really unknown background for a good while at the start of the game until that starts to unfold. You just wake up in this strange world and you're not really sure where you are or what's going on. But you have this voice that speaks to you, that calls out to you, and tells you your divine purpose, and you have to seek out. I'm trying to say it without giving spoilers. It's hard for me to summarize it sometimes, but you have to seek out these creatures that are threatening the world, and these creatures exist in each kingdom. So as you're traveling between the different kingdoms, you see how the world is like affected by these beasts that just start causing chaos, and you'll see the people in the world that are also affected by it too, and their stories kind of unfold with you as well. And you do have a companion. Her name is Mergo, and she is like the guide in a way, but she's not the guide that's like holding your hand around every corner. I would say she is more along the lines of, if you imagine the fire keepers in the Dark Souls series. So they're there as some kind of lower building point, as well as like the person that helps you to level up and like progress forward. But there's also a story arc with that character as well that I think people will like.
Yeah, I think by the way, when you said creatures that are causing chaos, for a second I thought you said preachers that are causing chaos, and I was like, oh,
Oh,
that
Oh boy,
that's a
all
different kind of story.
Okay.
But no, I like it. And again, for me, I like, as far as like the help goes, I always like game design where, all right, we'll give you a hint if you ask for it, not. And I know it's easier said than done, because if you're a sweat like us, we want to figure everything out, play on, these are guys that play Halo on Legendary the first time out, right? But I know that some people, like, when they get stuck, they'll just turn off a game, and so you have to balance that,
Right.
with your game design. But that it balance is the key word, right? You don't want to handhold. You just want to, if you see someone stuck for too long, give them a way to play. Also, I just want to point out, when you said classics, it's always funny, right? Like you start getting the gray hairs, and what you think is 10 years ago
Yeah.
is not what it was
What is
actually
that,
10
like
years
40
ago, right?
years ago, PS2?
Yeah,
40
like,
years?
if you,
Good Lord. Anyway, Lucius, you've been quiet. I know you played this. You played this as well, at least during the demo phase. I know you played some of this, and we got a chance to actually got hands on this. When we
we also played
first
this at
met
Summer
Fabian.
Games Fest. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think? Well, would you have any questions, sir?
Well, one, this is kind of more of an organizational question. You started out as one person who had a certain idea about the general design of the game, and playing around at the end of it, and it seems as if that one turned into two, which turned into a little less than 10 people. And so how do you go from having your own individual vision to having very talented people helping you make that vision? But as soon as you have more people, that vision is going to inevitably change to some degree. So how do you manage that as a creative, and how do you manage that as like a manager, right? Because this is, you went from retail, which I don't know your particular position in retail, but you went from retail to essentially like a project manager. And how did you grow as a person through that process?
Yeah, I I was just like working at the general places, like supermarkets, and just a normal employee. Last place I was at was like some type of tech support place, but nothing in the role of manager. Um, so this was like a big jump, and it was very daunting at first. Still is sometimes, um, but I I pretty much lean on my team. Like they help me just as much as I help them, and we really just lean on each other throughout the whole development. Um, so I don't necessarily feel like I'm a manager, even though I am, because everyone plays their part in helping to manage as well. So it doesn't feel like I'm doing this on my own, as well as Chris. Like Chris is like huge. Like if I didn't have my team, we definitely wouldn't have this game be as polished and where it's at. I'd probably still be making characters, honestly.
So I have a
Yeah.
question. I'm sorry, everyone. You want to go? Go ahead.
No. I was just like in terms of project management and things like that. One of the things that I struggle with in my own endeavors is scope creep. How do
Yeah.
you once you go into full-time production, it is a real thing and you've got backing and funding and all that, how do you create the task list, right? Because you're going to have to map out what needs to be done to get to release, or do you just kind of figure it out as you go? Is there like a Jira board or something like that, like where you have everything mapped out that needs to get done, or is it you guys are making it, playing it, and it evolves as you develop?
For the longest time, we've just been winging it. Like we would be in a Discord call and just talk about like the different ideas that we're imagining for the game and what works, what doesn't work. And Jira is honestly like a recent thing, like very, very recently, that we started using to help with getting to the final points of the game, like getting things wrapped up. I think people call it like the last 10% is like the hardest parts of like getting a game done. So that's the part that really is like requiring us to like use Jira and like make sure that we get everything done that we want done before we end up releasing the game. Yeah, so Jira's a more recent use.
Yeah, there's an old saying. It's great. You've reached 90%. Now you're halfway there.
Right.
So to that point, I had a question about that. You guys, and it sounds to me like between you all, this is your real first project, right? You had some skills between you, but this is your real first project working together. Usually, and we speak to indie developers on many occasions when we are lucky to be able to do so. The projects aren't as ambitious as this. The various like systems on display, the gameplay elements added, like this is very like the laundry list of things you have of like scale of difficulty you put for yourself is quite high. I ask, like, were there anything that you guys cut out? Because it seems you have everything on display as if these are teams who have built upon the systems upon systems upon systems for years now to get to where you are. But this is your first game, right?
Yeah, this is our first game.
Yeah. So like, what was left in the cutting room floor? I guess is my question.
Oh man, there was like m- more plans to do things with NPCs. Like, um, I wanted to have like more side quests throughout the game at one point, uh,
Okay.
but it started to become more just more things for us to do with the big game that we already kind of have. Um, in terms of like the idea for the game, it's trying to be like a classic Zelda or like a Jack and Dexter, and
Mhm.
on paper it seems like uh not too much, like when you think about like what Ocarina of Time is, but it's actually like a lot, like um so it took a lot of effort for us to make this game, and I'm happy with how it turned out. But of course, like, I know nothing is perfect, and there's always the other side of like, dang, like what if we did go down this route, or whatever. But
Hey man, that's what the sequel's for.
right, right. Knock on
Uh,
wood, if that happens, I
yes,
hope that could be a
I do.
reality.
On that note, you mentioned Zelda. Now, when you say Zelda, is this? I know you said Ocarina of Time, but then there's Link to the Past. Is this a fully open world game, or is it more zone based, and dungeons?
It's more zone based for sure.
Okay. And another thing that really stands out about this game is the iconography and art style. I was very interested in what inspirations did you take for just designing this world. I'm not talking about the level design. I'm just saying like the art. Like this looks like you know uh, a mythic realm that you've
The visual
created.
language. Yeah.
Yes. What would you say are your biggest inspirations for some of that?
That's awesome to hear. I would definitely say inspiration is for sure Wind Waker, um, a bit of Journey, as well as like Sky, Children of the Light, um,
Yes.
and man, I think those are the two biggest ones. Yeah, for sure. And then
Are
I just
there
tried to tap into my own kind of aesthetic.
were there any sort of non-gaming inspirations, sort of like fantasy novels or films or anything like that?
Um, no, not really.
Yeah, so I also appreciate that. It's a game ass game,
For sure.
right? So no, but it does, and again, this is what I love about it. It has this sort of sense of a sort of, I don't want to say lived in because there's not a lot of people walking around, but like it feels old, like I just feel like I'm transported to some place important, if that makes any sense. And the again the gameplay itself does harken back to those sort of PS2 days, and and I love that you said Wind Waker because it is my second favorite Zelda game behind Link to the Past.
Nice.
So kudos, you're a man of culture, sir.
Hell yeah. Link to the Past is very special to me. Like, love that game.
I just don't know why Nintendo doesn't remake it, right? Like they did the they did the top down remake, which was the one where he
Link Between Worlds.
no, it's not that one. It was on the Switch. Somebody help me out here. We got a lot of Nintendo fans in the chat. What was the top down? I don't want to go and grab my
Link's Awakening.
Link's
Awakening,
Oh,
yeah.
Yes. So I don't know why they don't make Link to the Past, man. It's that I guess Nintendo doesn't want money.
I mean, hey, maybe because they're doing Ocarina of Time. Maybe that could be next.
Some people mistakenly call Ocarina of Time the best Zelda, but they're wrong, and it's okay.
So much slander so early. All right.
No, it's a great game. It's just not the best. I don't know what people want to say. I'm just
The
here with the
game
facts.
is called Demi and the Fractured Dream. That's what it's called, Demi and the Fractured Dream. Based on the Steam descriptor, it says it will be out in February 2027. It looks really awesome. I was speaking to Fabian before about it. Coming to all platforms, both current and last gen, if I'm not mistaken, right? Your Xboxes, your PlayStations, your Switch 1 and 2, right? Any
Right.
obviously the Steam. Any place I'm forgetting?
Pretty much, yeah. That's everything.
Yeah.
Everywhere except mobile.
Runs great on handheld. I should also say I played it on the Xbox
does.
Ally.
Nice.
I played it on the MSI Claw, so there you go.
Hell
We
yeah.
have two different handhelds that it ran pretty good on. Yes, absolutely.
Steam Deck too. It'll be compatible on Steam Deck.
Very cool. How long
Unlike
do you
Marvel
foresee this game
Tokon.
will be?
Sorry.
Hey, stop it now. You see,
Yes,
you're slandering already. Calm down. Man.
Sorry. Forgot we had company.
Jeez. How long do you foresee this game? Obviously, depending on how the attitude of the person, it'll change. But roughly, how long do you foresee the gameplay of this to be? Like the story.
I think for the completionist, it'll be around like 15.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. Okay. Very nice. All right. Any other questions you have, sir? Lucius?
Well, I would first of all, I'd like to say thank you because 15 hours, in my opinion, is the perfect size for any campaign.
Not too big, not too small. Good.
Right. I don't like wasting time with unnecessary side quests and things like that. So we appreciate side quests, but like I will pay more money for a game that respects my time, is all I'm saying. I don't like doing pointless things just to pad
I think that's
gameplay hours.
For sure. I think that's part of the reason why I wanted to stray away from open world, because nothing necessarily wrong with open world games, but I do think that open world games tend to have a lot of space that isn't necessarily like utilized. I would say a lot of the times it's more so for like aesthetics, which is awesome. But I wanted to really just focus on it being like a game that felt fun. And when I think about that, I think of games that are more linear, like the Souls games.
Now, you mentioned the Souls games. We have somebody in here who likes to play Elden Ring a very particular way.
Yes.
Right? Like they like to grind. I won't say who it is, but this person likes to grind and make sure that they're ready for the fight. What kind of game is this when it comes to experience? Is it the type of game where like every single enemy gives you just enough experience and you can't grind out enemies? So if you want to be able to be maxed out, you really gotta look around and get all the stuff and yada yada? Or is it the type of game where it's like, hey, if you want to go back into this area 2 or 3 times and make sure that you found everything, got everything, you'll get experience as you kill the enemies? Like there's 2 different mentalities behind that sort of those 2 different designs. Which one do you find yourself leaning towards?
So for this game, it's more of a system where you have a couple different kinds of progression. You have the obelisk, which is where you get like, your increased health, your increased damage, increased mana, etc. And you have to find a specific collectible in the world which gives you access to that tree. So you'll find those collectibles like, in shops or just through the world, like exploring and finding chests. So you're getting rewarded for exploring like every nook and cranny in order to dive deeper into that tree. And then the other progression is with the currency that you find, like the money in game that you get from defeating enemies, and you can spend that in the different shops that you find throughout each kingdom. And that allows you to buy like different spells that you can use in combat, different relics that enhance like your play style, and yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah, so it sounds like it's not really about like stat maxing, right? More so gaining abilities that help you throughout your journey. Um, and I
Yes.
see that you can also upgrade your strength and things like that, but it's not like a number where it's like, all right, this one's going to give me 15 plus stamina, and that one will make me impervious to burn damage. It's right. So, but which makes sense for what's I like it.
For the type of game that it is. It's like minute. Those changes are going to be more minute in comparison to the overall different abilities and different stuff that you'll be able to get. That makes sense. One last question, and this comes. This is kind of generally like a creative question. It's well known that like no matter how good something is that a creative makes, a lot of times they see the larger flaws in them, and so because of that, there's always something that they can work on. How do you consider something done, right? Like not just like the overall project, but certain boss fights, certain like how do you get to a point where you say, okay, I think that our vision has been reached, and to spend more time on this would just be to like waste time. Like how do you strike that balance?
That's a great question that I actually don't know how to answer fully, because I don't know if there's ever a point in where it's like, okay, this is done. But there's a point where we feel good about stuff and it's like, okay, let's move on to something else. And if somebody points something out, like, okay, this is an issue, or maybe this needs a little bit more love, or be taken a little bit further, that's when we'll like, go back and maybe shift a few things or decide within ourselves, like, is this something that's worth adjusting anymore, or do we just leave it here? So it's kind of hard to answer it fully, but for the most part, I think we've just kind of grown to realize that nothing is going to be perfect, so we just have to do it as best as we can and then move forward.
Yeah, I know that question wasn't for me, but it makes me think of yet another quote. There's an old saying that art isn't released, it escapes, right?
Right.
And so there's always like they like you have to set a date, right, where they'll just have to pull it out of your hands. Most people working on things, they're just going to work on it because everybody's trying to release the best thing possible, and everybody's really connected to things that they work hard on. And so you have the best way to figure that out is knowing what your ship date is, and then that will make the decisions for you about when you can hyper focus on one thing versus other tasks that have to get done.
Yeah, for sure. Deadlines is a big one that helps with that too.
That's my problem right now. I don't have any deadlines, so I'm in the phase that Lucius just talked about, where I'm like, I think I can plus this.
Mm-hmm. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, once again, the game is called Demi and the Fractured Dream. As we said, it caught our eye way back in June. It's been keeping up with us for some time now. Fabian, it is a pleasure to talk with you about it. I hope that you keep us in mind when the game comes out. We would love to review it for you, for the channel. I think this is something that we're going to be talking about when it releases. By the way, how do you feel about the crush of games releasing in the next few months? And I think a February choice is good. Are y'all concerned, being that there's so many games releasing in such close cacophonous succession at this point?
Man, It's crazy. I think I just hope we don't get like buried underneath the giants that are coming out. But either way, I'm just glad that the game is gonna just finally be out and people will be able to play it. So if it's meant to be and people see it naturally, that's great, and that's all I can hope for.
You know what's great about games like this is that they stand out in the middle of the pack, because a lot of the games that are going to be coming out between September and February, a lot of those are really big games. They take a lot of time, and a 15-hour game is just the palate cleanser that you need sometimes to be able to go from like big game to big game. Because if you just go from big game to big game, that's 100 hour, you can exhaust yourself. But like having like a little 15-hour experience in between, that is the perfect way to kind of still kind of stay on top of all those things. I will say, you are like, February still isn't looking super busy. There's a couple games there. That's not too bad. But man, September is looking crazy. As Nintendo just dropped Fire Emblem on the same day as like Trails in the Sky second chapter, which like those dropping on the same day, it's just like, well, like I'm gonna buy both of them, but I don't know if I'm gonna have time to beat both of them within September, because both of those are like 100-hour experiences. Like, how am I gonna? I don't know.
Yeah,
and that's just a few of the 40 plus games scheduled to release in September. So, bloodbath, I say, bloodbath. All right.
Yeah, I'm glad we're not releasing this year.
Are there any opportunities for you guys to release earlier or later, or is that just a set date?
At this point, it's a set date for sure.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, these are the kind of games I play. It's like these kinds of games, Metroidvanias, things like that, like top-down action RPGs. So I'll see a AAA game and choose a game like this, but that's me. But again, I think, and you also said that 15 hours is like if you want to be a completionist. So you could probably get through the main campaign in a little bit less than that, it sounds like, which is music to my ears. But again, as Lucius pointed out, that's the perfect thing that you do between those bigger games. So there's an opportunity. You could have a Barbenheimer thing going on here, man. So
Seriously?
think about it.
That's weird, man.
Okay. All right, I'm sorry. Doomsday, you could have going on.
Oh God, he's gonna start that again. All right, we're not going there. Leaving that alone.
Right.
Anyway,
Right.
Yeah.
I got a lot of movie talk if we want to do it on the real section later. I'm just saying.
We will actually have some movie talk. There's Zelda talk to discuss, which I wanted to bring up, but we'll get into that one. But before we move on, they're talking Zelda movies and stuff. Crazy. Anyway,
that definitely has me interested. I want to see like the actor for Ganon. I'm very curious.
Exactly.
I there's an actor that I had in mind for Ganon. I don't know his name, but he's one of the chieftains, and he's been in a lot of movies, but like I know everyone's seen the Avatar movies. But he's one of the chieftains. He plays Kate Winslet's husband in the Avatar movies. I don't know if you know who Kate Winslet's character is. She was the one that was pregnant.
I know who you're talking about. Yes. I think I know the actor who you're talking about. Yep.
That guy.
Gotcha. Okay. No, I don't think I know him.
So here's the thing. I don't know his name either, but as soon as you see his face, everybody knows.
Isn't he like Samoan or something? Like I think he's Samoan or something. Yeah.
Yes.
I think I know who you're talking about. I know who you're talking about. Needless to say. All right. So before we get off of this topic and start getting on a tangent, I will put it in the chat. If you have not put it on your wish list already, please do so. It is called Demi and the Fractured Dream. Obviously, it will be on consoles as well. When it comes to consoles, do yourself a favor and check it out. We appreciate you for chatting with us there about this, Fabian. This is great. Thank you so much for being here, and you're welcome to stay and hang and talk games with us. We're not kicking you out. But yes, we're gonna be here talking a bit of games. Before we do, let me quickly catch up on a couple super chats because those have started as we were in the middle of it. First and foremost, we have Mr. Too Opinionated with a $2 super chat. He says, "Excuse my tardiness." Yeah, we see you, sir. We see you. He's sometimes a little too opinionated. We need to calm him down.
I just found out last week who Mr. Too Opinionated is.
Me too.
I don't know if we
oh
can
my
say.
God, it just drove me
I don't know if we
wild,
can
bro.
say,
It's
but
crazy. No, we're not gonna say. We're not
yeah.
gonna say. We're gonna leave that one alone. Yes, I found that out too. I was just like, "What?" It blew my mind. Anyway, 108 Dragons.
I could have sworn I
$5
seen who.
super chat.
Anyway, who he is talking to this person, but anyway,
Yeah, yeah.
arguing in the chat with himself.
Yeah. I could have sworn I seen Clark Kent talking to Superman, but it's fine. We're moving on. So, 108 Dragons TV with a $5 super chat. He says, "What's good, my friends? Hey, chat. What's going on? Lemon, hope you're doing well, sir."
Yeah, man. I ain't talked to Lemon in a minute, man.
Yeah. It's been a minute. We need to get him out on the show. And of course, the Mr. Too Opinionated with another 5. He says, "What game other than Zelda inspired you to make this?" That's an interesting. We
answered that. We said it was Journey, right?
Which I see the Journey, by the way. I definitely like. And Journey was one of my favorite games when it came out. I definitely see those inspirations. Very, very texture and detail oriented. The environments. It's very beautiful.
Yeah,
well done
for sure.
Also,
Journey.
if everybody could do us a favor, if you're in the chat right now, there's over 100 of us here. I'd like everybody to go wish list the game. The link is to Steam is in the chat. If you don't have Steam, go and wish list it on your platform of choice. But let's get those metrics up so he can raise in the whatever recommendation algorithm these guys use.
And also when you come back to this video, please hit that like button. There's so many of you in here and so little likes. Please like the video.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
Like I said to folks, no worries at all. Like we always say it whenever we have a developer in here. We love people who go out on the limb and make that game and make that their life's blood. People who, when you buy their game, they will be able to eat from it, and they're making excellent product. Clearly, you see that here. Support this man. Get him over that edge. Hopefully, you make all the monies. This looks awesome, and we look forward to it coming out and us playing more of it. These are the people you should assist, folks, to make sure that they can continue making great games for you.
Instead of giving GTA $100 for extra levels and then being mad about letting them put stuff on Netflix. You can support a solo team.
That's right.
I'll leave that to you all and what y'all want to do with your money. I know what I'm doing with mine. That's all I'm saying.
Yes, indeed.
I slipped up earlier.
Go ahead, man.
I slipped up earlier when I was saying I was able to quit my job. Actually, was let go from my job as this opportunity was opening.
Even better.
Demi. Yeah, and with Chris as well. Like he. I remember one night we were chatting on the phone, and he was like, "Am I super serious about this game?" Because he's been on previous teams before where the games just kind of like fell through and nothing really happened from them. So he was like, am I sure about this? Am I gonna really be about this game? And I'm like, yeah. And he quit his job the same night, like while we were on the phone. He sent in his resignation letter, and I'm like, dude, you're crazy. But he was as serious and locked in as I was too. And
when somebody else is locked in and has made a commitment or a sacrifice, that is a lot of times the motivation to keep you going, right? Because it's not just you anymore, right? When somebody else is there, like you can't let it go. And I also say, every time in life when I was in a situation and I lost the situation, like you lose a job or things go bad with the economy or whatever, every time that's happened, I've come back stronger. And so, like this what you just talked about is a prime example of that. Okay, they let you go. F them. Now you're a game developer making a game connected with an Annapurna and doing it full time, right? So, one door closes, another one opens, and a lot of the times that other door is where you should be. So
real quick, first off, Six Slayer says, have a great show. F this heat, gonna hit the pool. Shout out to you. I see Fuzzy Belvedere in the chat. Salute to the great Fuzzy Belvedere. He asked an interesting question. Do you guys know whether the game will be play anywhere on Xbox? A lot of Xbox fans in the chat.
Play anywhere on Xbox.
Meaning on Xbox, they do this dual entitlement thing where if you buy it on the console, you then get it as the same game ability to play on their PC store and vice versa.
Oh,
they
interesting.
Usually do that a lot with the Xbox. Yes.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
I'm not sure if you guys know at that point, if you know any further at that point yet or not, but I look into it.
Yeah, I can look into that for sure.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
I'll look
makes
into
it
that.
unique on Xbox that people want to buy on their platform of choice, because when you have it on one side, you get it on the other side, so you can kind of take your game.
Got you. No, that's cool. I'll have to see. Yeah, I'll check that out and post on socials if that's a thing that we're doing.
Very cool. The great Hollywood Rules, who's been a member for 17 months, he says, happy Saturday to my fellow graybeards. Thank you both for the game code. 4 days 4 days from Neptune's with the lady in Hollywood. Wow. Trying to get the third showing of Spidey. Wow. This dude watched it 3 times. Damn. All right.
Meanwhile, I haven't found time to watch it once. He's watched it 3 times.
Boy. You know, I'm gonna
try to figure something out.
Okay, because you are very militant when you have seen something about when you can talk about it. In fact, you haven't seen it yet.
I'm just gonna start avoiding whenever you guys start talking about it. I'll just run away. I'll give you that grace.
In the chat, shout out to Pixelbit G. The game is Demi and Demi and the Fractured Dream. Yeah. So with the link is in the chat. We'll put it in the chat once again. You can wish list it. So Hollywood, the game code you're talking about, because we give out so many game codes. Are you talking about Dragon Sword?
Yes.
Love
Dragon Sword last week. Oh, you played. Awesome.
Love that game.
See, this is what I'm telling people.
Oh my god. So good.
I'm a Dragon Sword stan. I'm an acolyte. It's the only game I've been playing apart from the demo. I can't put it down, man. It's good.
It's great.
It's only $30.
All right, so Everborn Saga, since you've transitioned us here already, we were going to continue talking about it. What games besides Demi have you been playing? Continue to glaze your Dragon Sword.
Okay. I hit 20 hours this morning in the game.
Nice.
I like, again, it was a gacha game where they removed the gacha mechanics, but it still has all the different upgrade paths, which is satisfying when they're not time gating you, right? And so wait, hold that thought. Somebody else talk about another game. I gotta deal with something really quick.
Okay. Well, while we wait on him on that, Lucius, I guess I'll go to you. Have you tried Dragon Sword?
I have. I played about an hour of it, but I'm in a weird.
That seems like your kind of game too.
I'm in a weird situation right now because since playing Animo a couple weeks ago, and like, you know me, I'm a huge Pokemon fan, but I hate the fact that they've been putting so little effort into their games, and like, but this thing was so good. I felt like how Everborn Saga feels about Dragon Sword. And for me, since that closed beta has shut down and I haven't been able to play that game anymore, every single time that I try to play any other game, I bounce off of it almost immediately. It has nothing to do with whether or not games are good. I just have
spoiled you.
Animo has just given
awesome.
me a very specific experience that I was looking for such a long time, that every other game that I've touched has not scratched that itch. So I've just been I've been watching television more than anything. Like, so I've been catching up to a bunch of shows. I'm catching up on X-Men.
So you watching everything except Spider-Man. I got you.
Once again, that's a theater thing. That's a whole plan. I got to plan stuff, right? Comparison to just sitting down and turning something on television, right? So I caught up. I watched Supergirl. I have been watching X-Men 97. I'm like, I think I'm still like 1 or 2 episodes behind. I still need to. I've been watching Superman, My Adventures with Superman, to like watch that like that too. I need to. Cape Crusader. I'm gonna start watching that soon because season 2 of that.
Season 2 is out, right?
Yeah. Like, so there's a bunch of stuff that I've been watching on top of like, you know, trying to catch up with like a bunch of weekly animes or whatever. And there's the new season of Reacher is coming out next week. And so I just binged Reacher for the past like week and a half. And that's been like
grinding right
now. Like I said, like I haven't been playing video games. So it's just like I have all this time. I've been spending that time watching television rather than playing video games. So like, you know, catching up with a lot of stuff.
So you really like anime then?
Oh yeah, like I'm not like a free to play kind of guy. I'm typically not a gotcha sort of guy. It's not a gotcha game, though it does have some elements that remind people of it and it triggers them. But it's like if I were to take Pokemon, Zelda Breath of the Wild, and Genshin Impact, and like they all had a baby, that's what that game would be. The exploration is really good. The environments are beautiful and incredibly distinct. The animo are diverse. One of the biggest problems with like creature collectors is that
everything you said is all Dragon Sword, but I would switch Pokemon with Devil May Cry, and it's the same like environments, exploration, different biomes within this larger map. But anyway,
I believe you.
Go ahead.
I want to make it very clear. I very much believe you, right? And if I had played Dragon Sword before playing that Animo closed beta, I would probably be right here talking about how great it is. But because I had literally touched something that was golden for me, and everything else, like I've bounced off of this game, which has nothing to do with the quality of this game. This game's probably amazing. I bounced off of the Halo campaign Evolved only because I was having performance issues, and I was like, I'll just wait until they fix it. I bounced off of Beast of Reincarnation only because of the performance issues. I'm like, if you're gonna have like a Souls-like action game, I need the performance to be good. It needs to be rock solid. If it's jumping from 50 to 100 back to down to 50, no thank you. Like
Beast of Reincarnation.
Beast of Reincarnation. So like a lot of the games that I've been bouncing off of, it's because of either performance issues or something else. But like Animo gives me, as a long time Pokemon fan, it gives me
Animo, by the way. Continue.
Yeah, it gives me exactly what I want, and it's surprising that Nintendo and Game Freak specifically just have not been able to deliver this. Considering
why is that surprising, knowing Nintendo and Game Freak?
Well, here's the thing, as every gripe that you have about Nintendo, about like their quality,
my gripe is more with Game Freak, but
Game Freak is like double or triple that bad, because it's like they get very little time to make the games. They don't get that much money to get the games, like relatively. A lot of the Pokemon games, the most recent ones, are made for like 15, 20, 30 million dollars, despite it being literally the most popular IP on the planet.
Right, and selling 50 million copies.
Yeah, like it's absolutely insane. But like when you're selling that many copies, you don't need to put in the effort, because why? I'm gonna sell it no matter what. Brick's gonna sell no matter what.
Oh man. Hey, by the way, Umbra, I see you said, would anyone gift you Dragon Sword? Umbra, I will.
Game is $30. If you don't start chucking and jiving.
Look, I will gift you Dragon Sword right now if you commit to playing it. I need a 30-hour commitment from you. If you can, as a man
Oh,
look me
boy.
in my digital eyes and say, I will play this thing for 30 hours.
This
I will
man,
give it to you
this
right
man
This
does
guy.
not stop.
Right now.
This man is constantly shucking and jiving
Damn.
for something. Goddamn.
He said, I'm a simple poor man, is what he said.
All right. Well, I made you the offer, Umbra.
Oh, my goodness.
You got to
Oh,
commit
just
30 hours to it.
Unrelenting.
I'm not giving away a game just for you to have it in your library. You got to play it.
Uh-huh. Well, and you caught Everborn Saga on a good day too, because he's trying to sell the propaganda. So if you're gonna play it, he gonna sell it to you.
Listen, okay. So Fabian, you'll learn this about me. Anytime I find a game that I really like, I become an acolyte of that game, and I try to shill it to everybody. I just want to share the love. So I expect in February I'm going to be doing this for Demi. I'm just going to be telling everybody about it every week.
There you go.
That's awesome.
But yeah, man. Well, I'll let Lucius finish his Animo love letter.
Yes. Go ahead, Lucius. Tell us once again why you love Animo as much as you love Animo, because we all know you love Animo. Go ahead.
I want to play it too. I've been keeping my eye on it. It looks great.
Yeah, we were lucky enough to get a chance to look at it also at June, and he was then able to get into the closed beta.
Are there any lawsuits behind
been
this?
drinking deep of that.
Because I know Power World got hit. Well, no, I'm just saying we know what they did to Power World, or did they learn their lesson?
Just because you're capturing creatures doesn't mean they need to watch their backs. That's all.
I mean, according to Nintendo's lawyers, that's exactly what. Anyway.
All right. Well, Lucius, if you are done regaling us with the fascinations of
you see all these systems and whatever. I get it. I would never be the type of person to send anyone towards a free to play game, but I wanna assure you, this game is good. The exploration is good. The performance is good. I played a good amount of this on my handheld, and I had to figure out they need to figure out proper upscaling because they don't have that.
What are developers for this game?
So it's a brand new developer. It's called Paw Print. So it's they come from China. So they've had multiple Q&As because people are very much concerned. People are they're excited, but they're hesitant because they've seen games like this in the past, and the monetization is what really kind of destroys games like this. And the developers have double
that, but
the developers have double, tripled, quadrupled down, and they're hey man, we're not going to try to screw people over. There are going to be microtransactions in this, but it'll be very reasonable, and it'll only be for very specific things. And when I played the beta, a vast majority of my experience was I didn't have to pay for anything. They did give me a lot of digital currency for me to use, but I personally did not use it for anything to boost me or whatever. I just played the game normally, and I played it for 65 hours.
Wow.
Nice.
And that's a demo or a closed beta? Damn,
that was the closed beta.
Hours?
Yes. And they gave a significant amount of the main story and a lot of side stories. Like I said, there's a lot of exploration. The map is pretty big. There's a lot to do. There's a lot of there's normal world sort of stuff where you're going around interacting with the world, catching Animo. There's multiple PvP and PvE modes. There's so much to do inside of the game. And it hasn't even launched.
Very nice.
So not to whatever, but do we have to be mindful of, hey, during the closed beta they're going to make everything available to you, but once they go live, that's when they turn the screws and start adding stamina gates?
Yeah, and if you
that's
want
what a lot of these guys do.
Yes, if you want to wait for that, I will be playing this day one and doing everything, interacting with all the systems, and to let you know, hey, did they keep their promise? Is at least the day one experience of this thing something that allows you to be able to properly engage with all these systems without having to put a lot of money in?
Lucius, I'm so sorry. Listen, Joey Don't give him anything without a
no.
commitment.
Oh,
Don't,
no.
Joey, make sure this man
Lord.
looks you in the face and tells you he's gonna play the game, because he like getting
my
codes
goodness.
and then not playing the game. As long
Yeah.
as he say he's gonna play it, send it to him. He will enjoy his time, and I can't wait to discuss the game with him. But if he will not commit to this game, Joey, there are more deserving people. I'm just putting that out there.
Man.
Okay.
Look what we're
So,
doing here. Putting
one
it
of-
on 4K
Damn.
like this.
One
What
of-
are you doing?
Uh-huh.
My
One of
brother.
three.
My brother.
the video that you're showing actually is a great example, because a couple, like maybe 30 seconds ago, they showed like the twining mechanic inside of the game that makes it so unique, where you turn into the animo itself. The benefit of that is that there's certain abilities that you can use that'll allow you to be able to interact with the world. Obviously, it makes fighting a lot easier when you're directly controlling the animo, but having there are certain quests that you have to interact with to be able to like engage with certain animo in the real world. When you entwine, aka turn into that animo, it allows you to be able to use moves that are associated to that. And on top of that, there are specific traversal things that you can do regarding animo. So it's like you can climb most surfaces. That's where kind of the Breath of the Wild aspect of it comes from. But you need a climbing animo, which is very easy to catch. Like there's many of them, but like there's different types of animo, and they all give you specific abilities: flight, swimming. And as I would imagine, as the game goes on, there is going to be more things that you can engage from an environmental standpoint by using particular animo. So I'm not one to glaze games. I'm also not one to
He
point
says
people
while
towards-
glazing this game.
Yeah, I'm also not one to like point people towards free to play stuff, because I don't really like that model overall.
Right.
That's primarily because of my own self-control issues. But like at the end of the day, I think that this is a great product. And if you're a creature collector fan, if you have ever liked a Pokemon game before, I think this thing is worth playing. It's literally so good that it has messed up my ability to play video games for the past 2 weeks.
That's good to hear. I mean, I want to play this just from everything I've seen. I'm like, man, this looks really interesting, but what's the catch? Because usually, when you see like games with systems like the gacha systems, they generally have like predatory business practices to try to like get your money in many ways that they can. But I was just questioning, like, what is that with this game? And I guess it's not fully out there yet, but it's good to know at least it's like a good game. And I think with most gacha games, like they're actually really good games tied behind kind of scummy business practices.
Yeah, well, I mean that's the whole point. You have to have an amazing loop for people to deal with the annoyance of the business practice, right? So if you have that sort of addictive gameplay loop that's very sticky, it's so sticky that when people have to deal with the annoyance or encumbrance of having to only build a certain amount of stamina per day and then you got to come back the next day, or having to pay to get a new character or unlock a new part of the world, or all these things that they do, you would only do that if the loop was amazing. If it was a so-so game loop, you just leave it alone, right?
Bounce off real quick. Yep.
Right.
Yep.
So they have to make an addictive gameplay loop first, and then
awesome.
they can annoy you with those things. By the way,
walk up
you
to the
can
wall
do
and then you
this.
turn into an animal that climbs up the wall. That's
You
pretty
can
cool.
do this
Yeah.
with your familiars in Dragon Sword.
Right.
These things have a lot of things in common.
Yeah, they do. Like a lot of the mechanics are, a lot of these Chinese companies kind of do similar things.
Very cool.
But like I would say, I would never typically point people towards something like this, but this thing is very good, and there's going to be some free to play nonsense with it to some extent. But the most core element of it, which is catching animo and like the creature collector aspect of it and the exploration, all of that is free. You don't have to like pay for that at all. Essentially the things that you're going to have to pay for are like outfits if you want to have the drip, right? Like that's always going to be important. And there are going to be certain things, just like Everborn said, there's going to be some form of time gates, and you can pay to alleviate those time gates. But from my experience in the closed beta, if you if they keep most of it's very similar, I would imagine that you can get 4 to 5 hours of play and doing a bunch of stuff in the game per day without spending a dime. That's like a full gaming session. That is a full gaming session of like doing a bunch of different stuff. And at the end of that, when you're out of the energy needed to be able to do certain specific things, guess what? You can now just like go out into the open world, catch all the ammo, fight all the ammo, level up, do all the things that you need to do anyway. And by the time that you're like done doing that grind for like a couple of hours, you've recuperated all the energy that you need to be able to start doing the more bigger stuff. And like I said, would never point people towards something like this if I thought it was predatory, because I myself am very susceptible to the free-to-play model because I like the drip, I like the whatever, right? I have no problem with my money.
I need to move on from this because even the gameplay is making me want to play it, and that's dangerous.
Same.
Right? Like once you see it, you're just kind of like, this is actually really good. And this is like a Zelda-like puzzle. This is like a Zelda-like puzzle, and there's like a bunch of these dungeons all over the world that you can engage with, and most of them are single-person dungeons, but some of them are dungeons that require like a second person, and you're like engaging with the systems twice. There's like maybe 4 or 5 of those in the entire map, but most of them you can do by yourself. Like
so Everborn Saga, I have given this man enough glazing time. It is only fair that you two get equal glazing opportunities.
I don't need equal because we did introduce the game last week, so I'm just going to talk a little bit more about it. I really like, obviously the combat's there. It is Genshin meets Breath of the Wild meets Devil May Cry, and I think I have a total of 8 characters now. And then you can build each of them up, and there's so many different ways to unlock new powers in them. And then they're like, it really has the design of go in whatever direction you want, and we're going to find some fun for you. But the main story itself, it is just really funny. You don't take any of it too seriously or whatever, but like the jokes kind of hit, right? I love like everybody's like sassy with each other. I don't mean that, you know what I'm saying? Like everybody has attitude. Let's put it that way. But like if this was an anime, I would watch it, right? I like the characters. I like the character designs. I like the jokes that they have.
Subbed or dubbed?
It is not dubbed yet. That is on their list of things to do, but it depends on how well the game does.
Okay.
And this is I want to like put a point on that. Everborn Saga is not one to glaze a game that is subbed typically. Like this man is a dubbed watcher. He likes to, but the fact that he's giving you this recommendation despite hearing Korean constantly, like
despite having to read with my old man eyes and small text on the screen, yes. But it's worth it, and I'm like I've never like there's not a side quest that I've been on that I didn't feel rewarded. There is not a direction that I go, and what they do with the characters, they'll level up with you, but only to a certain point. So like if you're in the first area of the game, if you're a novice, you can level up to 20. So if you stay in that area, the enemies will level up, but only to level 20. So once you get past level 20, they'll stay at that level. But then if you go to a different part of the map, those guys will level up to level 40. Right?
Okay.
So you still get the sense of that people are leveling up with you, but the fact that they're gated that way just makes it more fun, because sometimes you want to feel powerful. You don't want everyone to level up with you every time, because then you don't get that sense of power. It's always the same challenge, right? So as I upgrade my characters and go to different areas, you can come back to a person and then do the Elden Ring thing. This is not like Elden Ring at all. You don't have to be a sweat to play this. It's very satisfying. But I'm at level 30 now, and going to fight level 35 enemies it's challenging, but it's super satisfying, right? And then the rewards that you get for fighting things that are above your level are fantastic for your upgrades. Now, one thing I will say, there is no you get armor and things like that, but they don't show up on your character. So these character designs are your character designs, right? And like, I'll just give you an example of how funny this is. You see this little girl crying. I'm going to spoil something, but it's at the beginning of the game. So, and it's not a part of the main story. This is a side quest. So she's doing all this crying like, oh, I lost my sheep. She is a con artist who found out about some gold and is using the mercenaries to go and get the gold for her. That's the kind of jokes that you have in the game, right? So again, I love the humor. They got
little girls scamming in this game.
Yes, yes, they do. So and again, it's also how you pair your team up, right? So like loot goes really well with Castella, but when I'm traveling with loot in Castella, I don't find a lot of use for Johnny, right? But Johnny will play really well with Arya, right? And so it's that kind of thing. And you can always have 3 people, and you can basically set up 5 different teams. So they're all, the main story of the game is following the 4 main characters. Although you don't have to play as any of them, you could play as any character that you pick up. But when you're in a cutscene, you're going to see these 4 characters, which is Castella, which is on screen, Johnny, which is the captain of the team, Lute, who is the person whose eyes you're seeing this through because he's new to this kingdom. So you get to learn everything through him. And then Arya is the smart one who basically explains everything for everybody, right? So story-wise, you're going to see them, but you can play as any character that you pick up. And then you use that little thing flying behind you. You press the R button, they get big, and you can ride that familiar. And then you can get different familiars, and you use the familiars to climb and travel and things like that. And each familiar has different powers. But again, the pairing of the characters together to plus your combos when they give you the prompts to do super moves. Like you're in the middle of a combo, they give you a prompt, switch to this character right now. And if you do it in time, then you'll get a little like cut in the middle of the battle while the battle's still going on. It works really well. I like 20 hours in, every battle has felt like super satisfying. And then you have the different types of dungeons you can go to, and there's different people giving you challenges in the world. Like, I have not had this much fun with a game like this. I'm not saying have this much fun with any game, but a game like this, I have not had this much fun in many years in a game like this. So I'm really rooting for this. I hope the dub comes out. It's a good game. Matter of fact, it's a great game. So
sure.
Cannot recommend it enough. You can get it right. It's $30 if you buy it directly, but if you go to one of the key shops, as of this morning, I've seen it as low as $20. So, and I know some people have gotten it even cheaper than that, but like you cannot go wrong for $20. This is the best $20 you will spend this week. And it has all the addictive qualities that Lucius talked about, but it is not a free-to-play game. It was supposed to be, but we talked about that drama last week. It's not a free-to-play game, so they took out all of the gotcha mechanics. They took out all of the time gating on stamina. So you can play for as long as you want. You can level up as long as you want. You can go in any direction. It's not blocked off. The only thing is, if you go to some places and you're not leveled for it, you could get cleared, and you could get one-shotted if you go too far. So you got to be careful at that. But just like in Breath of the Wild, like if you want to open up the map, like you have to find the windmills, and then the windmills will now, show everything that's in that area of the map. So you want to find all 10 windmills, and then there's like caves and dungeons, and then you can go back and play a dungeon on a more difficult level, because you switch when you select the dungeon. You switch which characters you want to run in the dungeon with, and then you can switch how difficult you want it. And depending on how difficult you set the dungeon, that's going to be how good your reward is for clearing it, right? So it's just, again, it's all like, I cannot believe this game's only $30. Right. So this is Dragon Sword.
That game is Dragon Sword, ladies and gentlemen, for those who are asking.
Oh, also, Dr. Dry Rub wants to say it also has jiggle physics for people who care about it.
Yes.
So,
for the Gooners.
Yes, but like anything you want, they've got it, right?
Lord help us.
So story,
exploration,
to the Gooners, ladies
and gentlemen. Oh Lord,
listen. I told you I'm an acolyte. I don't know what to tell you.
I wanted to chime in if
please.
Cool. The game is great, and it's based off of an old MMO that I played with some of my good friends, Dragon's Nest. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of that before, but there's a lot of Dragon Nest isms in this game. Like even the little orcs there are like resemblant of the ones that you've seen in that MMO. So it's nice to like play the game and see a lot of those Dragon Nest isms just baked into it. It's really
similarities
sick.
To this that you're describing. Isn't this like a similarity to Crimson Desert, who also had an MMO who they've now brought to the
Black Desert, Crimson Desert.
Yeah.
Yep.
Interesting. Okay.
Definitely.
Very cool. I did not know that this is originally from an MMO. That's interesting. Okay, cool.
It's really cool.
By the way, you on screen right now, you're seeing Castella putting in work. Right? So like she is the DPS character, right? Like she's great. And she's funny.
So let me catch up on a few more super chats, and then we will move forward. Soul Tech, the great Soul Tech, who does $2 super chat, he says, please like and subscribe, share, and play Beast of Reincarnation. He actually has a review for Beast of Reincarnation on Lognet, so make sure you go check that out. We always appreciate the Lord's gaming over here, and Soil Tech also supports as a writer over there. He wrote a really cool review of it, so go check that out. And he says, like and subscribe, and please do that here if you have not done so already. Mr. Too Opinionated with a 5. He says the GCP chat doesn't have to commit to me. Here's a Steam Journey code, and he drops a Steam Journey code, which was then redeemed. Thank you, Mr. Too Opinionated. We appreciate you, sir. Thank you very much. And then, of course, the aforementioned Dr. Dry Rub with a 2. He says it has booby physics. Thank you, sir. Yes. We understand. You appreciate it. Yes, you need to make sure that we all know. Yes, and now we do. Thank you very much. All right. Now, since we've all been talking about games we've been playing, I have one game that I want to talk about. And this seems to be a pattern for us where we're talking to y'all about games we've played before, and now we're playing them once more. Recently, we were talking, as Everborn was talking about Dragon Sword. We talked about this game a long time ago. Funny enough, we even had the developer on to discuss it during its early access phase, and then it came out, did a lot of really cool stuff. A lot of people got into it, and now it's on Switch 2. So they provided me a code to check it out. I am talking, of course, about Jotun Slayer, Hordes of Hell. Y'all know me. I love my my survivor likes, if you will, and this one was one of my favorite because it had really, really cool graphics. It looked a lot like your Diablo aesthetics and all that, and it also has really interesting like quest structure and all of that stuff. So I enjoyed what they were doing here. Very much the harkening back and doing more of, as you can see, low key and all of that. It's very much harkening in that pantheon and all that. So I really enjoyed my time with it. You could have bought this on PC. It's been out for some time now. There is now a Switch 2 version. Got a chance to. I've been playing it with my kids. Funny enough, and here comes the slander, and I'll put that slander out specifically because I know MJ's in the chat and he's gonna really be irritated by this. I have been trying to justify my Switch 2 for a while now because, with the exception of a few interesting games I've been playing, most of my games don't get played on the Switch. It is what it is. The kids have been playing it. So when they offered this to me and said, "Hey, you want to try this out?" Of course, I want to try it out. And the reason why I've actually been playing this a lot more is because it plays really great in local co-op. So, you sit down in the living room, controllers in hand, and you can play with multiple people, on the couch. The graphics for it, as I'm used to more on the PC side, take a little bit of a hit, as you're playing on the Switch 2. But it's still very much playable, very fun. It's a great experience. It's purchasable everywhere at this point. So, I have no reason to expect that you haven't already played this, but if you haven't, there is a new Switch 2 version. Here's MJ with a retort. He said, "Justify?" I've been trying to justify an Xbox for a while. Okay, yes. We understand. Deflect your blame, sir. It's fine. Yes. Anyway, so yes, if you haven't had a chance to play it already, it's called Jotun Slayer: Hordes of Hell. I just switched it. I tried it on the Switch 2. Plays pretty well. I'm thinking at the worst points, I saw it go to about 30 frames and whatnot, but usually it's averaging 45 to 50, somewhere like that. It plays pretty decent, and the graphics, of course, look pretty good on the screen as well. So, yes, know more about it if you haven't tried it already. It's now on the go on the Switch 2. But all right. Any games that you want to talk about there besides what we've discussed? Fabian, I know you've been talking about your game that you're in the middle of building. My cohorts here all had games they've been playing. Anything interesting or new that you have been playing besides the project you're working on, or has it been heads down for you, sir?
Yeah, I mean, Dragon Sword was one of the big ones that I was playing recently. I'm in pretty much the same place as Everborn. So if you ever want to play Everborn, hit me up. I'm down to do bosses and whatever.
Let's
I
go.
think that'll be fun. Hell yeah.
Excellent.
And
all right.
I just got into the MapleStory Classic beta. That's been fun to relive my childhood and meet some cool people. It feels like old internet, but with modern memes, how everyone's chatting in the chat. Yeah, those two are the two big ones.
Excellent. So, thank y'all once again for joining us in the chat. We are always so grateful to have so many folks in the chat, corresponding with us. If you haven't done so already, please hit that like button. Consider subscribing if you're not a subscriber. Thanks to all the folks who are providing these donations in the form of super chats. As you know, we'll be heading this year to PAX West. So all of these super chats that you donate will help to go to defray the costs of that for us. We appreciate every and any donation you can provide.
I definitely appreciate it.
And of course, the MJ with a $5 super chat. He says, "Ad paid to the president of Nintendo. Switch 2 is the best place to play. Gojima, Splatoon Raiders is the best shooter. Play Beast of Reincarnation, in my opinion." All right, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you for your donation, good sir. Yes. So Fabian, there are people who just love to get on this, get in the chat and make me say outlandish things because they donate. So
nice.
This is what happens.
Some good friends of mine actually worked on Beast of Reincarnation, so
awesome.
Nice.
Definitely try it out, guys.
Cool. Very cool. I actually installed it. I haven't put more than 30 minutes into it. I want to get into it because people have been speaking very highly of it.
The hour of the Beast of Reincarnation that I played, because once again I'm bouncing off of everything, but the hour that I played, I was like, there's some good systems here. There's some interesting combat. I like how the world looks and plays. I just need the performance to get a little better before I jump back into it. That being said, it kind of gives me an Xbox 360 kind of a feeling when games didn't need to be 100% perfect. They had a particular vision, and it was a time in where you could get many games like Beast of Reincarnation, and you wouldn't expect the level of like super polish until you get to like Beast of Reincarnation 2, right? Like a studio getting a second opportunity to be able to like really refine what they're doing, like that rarely happens anymore. And so because of that, it makes it so that way the product has to be more squeaky clean. But by making it squeaky clean, there's like an aspect of video games that have kind of been lost for a long time. And this is, old man yelling at clouds sort of thing. But and I'm not even that old. But like it is one of those weird.
Now the gray beard is too much.
Yeah, but it is one of those weird situations where Beast of Reincarnation and some games recently like it have kind of brought back that feeling of here's something that we're really trying to do, that we're passionate about, it's not going to be perfect, it's not going to be whatever, please give it a try. And a lot of those in the 360 era ended up being 7 out of 10s, but those 7 out of 10s were some of the greater experiences that I remember more than anything. Like
absolutely,
if I let those 7 out of 10s, the numbers, stop me from playing the game, I would have never played games like Army of Two, right? Which are like which is a fantastic like couch co-op experience that like once you actually play it with a friend, you're like, this is incredible. But like if you just let the score tell you, you'd be like, this is not worth my time. Some things like those cult classics come from those 7 out of 10s. So yeah, definitely give Beast of Reincarnation a try. And it's on Game Pass.
For sure.
Saga, you wanted to say?
Not a game, but this is my weekly glazing of Winhanced. It got another update this week where they completely rewrote the controller input. So if you are using Winhanced, you want to upgrade to 9.6, because if you ever felt any slowness or jitteriness or sort of too much sensitivity with switching between context menus, that's completely fixed now. There's a lot of other under the hood stuff. The version before that added like a lot of emulation support. So you just upload your ROM and it'll find the emulator kind of thing. And then
this is what he's talking about. Now that I have it installed on my PC, every time we talk about it, I could just like flick to it real quick. So there you go. This is the new version of Winhands. Keep going. Go ahead.
Yeah. So as you can see, look how it shows the art. And again, look how it shows games from different stores. If you move to the right a little bit, Kay, you see Control is on Steam. Beast of Reincarnation is on Game Pass. He's got Epic Games there. Ubisoft, all that.
Check out my Halo campaign and Evolve cap. It chose that for some reason. I was like, okay,
as it should. So my point is, it animated backgrounds. It hides all of this, and when you tie this to the full screen experience in Windows, they're calling it Xbox mode now, but we avoid the Xbox app like the plague. But you tie that with the enhancements to Windows. And I also want to clarify from last week. I said last week that the people working on the Xbox stuff, they should feel shame. However, like I'm specifically talking about the UI in the app, the Xbox app itself. And what it seems like they're focusing on is sort of platform level things, because the task switcher and FSE are important updates, and backwards compatibility is a huge thing. It is just they don't seem to care about the UI in the app, and that is a problem. But thankfully, let them do that platform work, and you have small teams like the developers at Winhands giving us this greatness. So if you are gaming on PC and you want it to feel like a console, specifically a handheld, right? I know a lot of people at the desk gaming at the desk on PC, they don't care about that stuff. But I know if you're on a handheld, you want it to feel like a console. This is your UI. It takes over everything. It handles updates. It has your library. You don't have to go and download things in separate places. You sign in. If it's in your library, you can download it right from this without ever leaving the app or opening another launcher. It's fantastic. And now they've got store. They've integrated the store so you can compare prices if you want to buy a thing in there. But if you do like me, I buy a game on my phone from the Steam or Xbox app, and then it just shows up in the library here. And then we download it. So
one interesting thing that I hadn't seen that they've added, which is pretty cool. You know that between all the various storefronts, you usually get free games added and stuff. No, it's at the top. So like, you know, any game that's offered for free for those who want to get access to, you know, oh, what game is Epic offering or what game is Steam offering for free? Here they are. You can actually go and even the Ubisoft offer this. You click on it and you can go get it. Claim it.
And do me a favor. Just show them one of the other ones where you have to pay how it compares the prices.
Sure. So let's say I want to buy Spider-Man 2, right? Right now it says it's $36.29, but that's because it has compared Fanatical to Steam to Epic to Humble to Green.
Oh, see, Gaming. I didn't know they just added that. It usually they didn't have key stores before, so now you can compare what is at the key store and decide where to buy it. This is the creme de la creme.
Yeah, so even checking the various key stores, so like $36 represents the cheapest you can find almost anywhere at this point, right? So pretty cool. You know, they're still doing really good stuff.
And they're also doing stuff with sleep wake, so you can just, if you're in the middle of the game, just hit your sleep button and then come right back to it. You don't gotta jump out of it. And now they have different layouts, so it looks like you're on the art forward layout, but you can also use Glass Station, which will give you something more similar to what you have on the PS5 UI. Under layouts, so Glass Station, so if you're familiar, if you're on PlayStation, you can see, and it shows your achievements in the right, and then so it does all these things.
By the way, we're not being paid or sponsored by this man. We need to get this man on here to tell him how great his UI is. We've been talking to him.
I don't know which one I am shilling for more, and I'm not shilling because nobody's paying me anything. But like between Dragon Sword and Winhance, I'm just a walking advertisement.
There you go. Yes. No, but truth be told, and we always
call this man Joey Chestnut.
Hey yo,
based off how he's glazing these different experiences, bro.
We usually talk about this stuff because like on handhelds and on front ends and whatnot, it's become cumbersome, right? These things have made it very, very easy to use. They've made it very turnkey, and in the form of Winhance specifically, it's actually so easy to use that you can even install it and just, you know, no tweaking, no trying to figure anything out. It just does
tweaking and twerking. Say it. But listen, the other thing is, and I've noticed this, I've been using this full time on my PC that's connected to the TV and then my handheld. Every time I have like a gripe or an annoyance or hope they fix that, magically the next week, here's a new version and they just fixed it. I'm not even logging complaints. It's just like they just know, right? And this is the kind of thing you would think you'd see from $1 trillion company. But apparently,
here he goes.
No. Go ahead. Shame needs to be brought back to society. Okay. Why can a small team be on top of things like this? Hey, but wait, no, hold on. Go to Demi.
It's because they dog food their own stuff. They're actually engaging with their own product. So at some point they know what's wrong. They're like, I wish it could do this. You don't have to tell them. They are already using it to know that that's the experience.
And by the way, Fabian, look how your game shows up in this. Yeah. You didn't, look, you didn't do anything. It just shows up. They do all of it for you.
Yes. Now,
that's awesome.
Fabian, just so you know, if you were to want to add art and whatnot, they pull it from Steam Grid DB, right? Right now it doesn't because the game isn't out yet. But if and when you do, that all the cool art you put into Steam Grid DB will then be available, and people will be able to download it here and all that stuff too. So
And
right now it's pulling
and,
it definitely from Steam.
Hell yeah.
and so
It's cool.
so this is just, it's frustrating.
Mhm.
And I love this thing, but it's frustrating that people that say that they're taking this thing seriously are doing what, while these guys every week they got meaningful updates, and we're waiting years for a UI update on the Xbox PC app, right? Like,
This man he's on a tirade. This man, he will not
no, but
give it up.
somebody has to make it make sense. I'm just saying it doesn't make sense.
Are you gonna give up your crusade if the wizard himself just shows up and goes, "I hear you, man"? Is that what you're waiting on?
I don't want anybody to hear me. I want to do something. I want somebody to do
I feel
something.
you.
That's all I'm saying. Because this is insane. All right, so E-Day, man. We talked about game we're playing. You played E-Day. I didn't play it.
I didn't put enough time into it to speak to it. Lucius was talking about it in the Discord. We were going to get together and play as a team. In the meantime, I at least loaded it up, and I was like doing the tutorial and doing the like going through the weapons and doing the hugging of the wall that you do in Gears of War, getting my muscle memory back underneath me. But we ultimately ended up not playing together. It didn't work out, and I think I played maybe 1 or 2 rounds, just kind of messing around. But like, you don't need me to tell you that Gears is back. The internet is abuzz with all the news of how great that game still plays and looks. But yeah, I can't speak fully to it because me and the team didn't get a chance to really put in that work. Lucius, did you end up playing it without me, or has that not been something you've done either yet?
Unfortunately, no, I haven't been able to play it yet because I mostly want to play the Horde version. And
me too, yeah.
The best way to do that is with people that you already know, so that way you can coordinate.
Exactly.
So I'm just waiting until other people have time.
Yep. So it's installed, but I can't fully speak to it. You didn't try it either, Everborn?
You know I don't play multiplayer games, man. I'm waiting to play that campaign. I will be playing that campaign day 0, and I will happily pay for the early access.
Understood. Yeah. Well,
and I'm keeping my Netflix subscription.
Yeah. See, there you go. I was about to say I will chat with the brain trust at Microsoft. Maybe they'll give us opportunity to review it. But I appreciate you saying that, sir, because we have to transition on. And this turned into a bit of heat in our Discord. So let's rekindle that fire right now. There was recent news, and there's a lot of GTA news. Strauss Zelnick talking about they don't really need discs and all that. We'll get into that. But I know you and Lucius were talking about it, and Fabian, I'd like your thoughts on it as well. Everbo, would you like to set up the
if I speak, I'm in big trouble. I don't want to speak. Yeah, let Lucius set up the position on this, and then I will come in because
go ahead, Lucius,
I'm gonna butcher his argument, and I don't want to do that to him.
Okay, So let's just have a little background. Back in the day, we didn't have DLC. Really, not really. We had expansions but we didn't really have DLC like that. But one day, Obsidian decided to sell horse armor. Everybody was just like, "Well, this is kind of bullcrap," but but it was for Oblivion. Sorry, Bethesda was the one who decided to sell it. So Bethesda decided to sell the horse armor for Obsidian, and everybody said, well, it's only Bethesda. Bethesda's the only one who's big enough for them to ever require this sort of thing or charge people for this sort of thing. So as egregious as it is, we're moving on. Counter-Strike. Before Counter-Strike, we really didn't have loot boxes inside of video games. Counter-Strike was obviously a gigantic game, doing it for fun, X, Y, and Z. So most people were just kind of like, well, they're doing it, but they're the only ones who are big enough to do it, so it's not that big of a deal. Okay, cool. So now we're in a situation where GTA has decided to create a paywall for the first real deep dive that we've had for GTA 6. It's already available for not only wish list, but people are pre-ordering it already, which I think is very stupid, considering that they haven't shown you anything. And it's surprising that people haven't learned anything from Cyberpunk 2077. At least they have to show you something first before you just start giving these people your money. And so I'm looking at all this as this just seems like a potential slippery slope for a new monetization model inside of gaming, where we are stopping people from being able to access the real like deep dive look into that thing. Now, once again, is this exact situation that big of a deal? No. GTA 6 is going to show up in 6 hours after the Netflix debut. It'll show up on YouTube. Fine. Like, whatever. And Netflix and Take-Two are the ones who decided to go on this like little business situation. So they could do whatever they want. But my reaction really was visceral because I saw some people online that we would consider a part of the gaming media that were just kind of like, why does this matter? Like, none of this matters, X, Y, and Z. And that person was someone who was previously someone who was just like, well, Xbox doesn't need exclusives. Their games need to go everywhere. Okay, well, if you're the type of person who advocates for those things to be everywhere and that there shouldn't be any exclusives, why are you suddenly okay with a paywalled exclusive first look at something like one of the most anticipated games of all time? And you're just suddenly okay with that. Like, what? Like, there's a lot of feelings that I had towards this, but part of it goes down to two things. One is just the kind of slippery slope that we find ourselves in with the industry. Industry is constantly looking to make more money. And I hear the thing that people are saying, that it's just GTA. GTA is just that big. They're the only ones who would ever be able to command this sort of attention or whatever. And though I agree with that, that will not stop the publishers from trying to do this. And when a hugely anticipated game is only going to be shown on Peacock for 2 days or something like that, I hope that those who say that this is not that big of a deal keep that same energy. And because it's only going to get worse, in my personal opinion, when it comes to once they take an inch, they take a mile. And that's kind of my general stance.
All right. May I?
I mean, I muted myself.
All right. All right. Yeah. Well, no. I guess K's on mute. Okay. So here's the thing. Philosophically, fundamentally, and principally, I come at this from the perspective of there is no slippery slope because there is no harm, and there never could be any harm to what amounts to an advertisement. A trailer is an advertisement, right? And none of us are entitled to see a trailer before or after anyone else, right? It's a trailer, and anyone else, like, trailers are designed to be shown to people. This is not in the same universe as DLC and the over monetization of games. And this is also, in my opinion, not a paywall, because you are not paying Rockstar to see this thing early. This is an added benefit for people with Netflix subscriptions. And if we cannot or think that we need to see something 6 hours early, or 6 hours, or we can't see something 6 hours late, depending on how you look at it, I don't agree with that. And I also think that this is normal. I think that if this is our definition of paywalls, there is a paywall to every movie trailer that you see when you have to go to the theater to see a Christopher Nolan movie trailer before it comes online, right? There's paywalls when you see a game early at a trade show because you had to pay to be at the trade show. And remember, we've classified a paywall as not having to pay the developer directly. It's anyone that you pay. So if Netflix is a paywall, so is JetBlue when you have to fly to go someplace, right? So to me,
Don't insult me like that.
I mean, it is. Oh, that you would fly JetBlue. I'm sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I apologize. You're a Delta man.
All right. Damn.
But
okay.
But my point is, I think that the worst that we're talking about is undefined. So it's a phantom worse, but by that definition, everything gets worse, right? What we are really afraid of, and we have accepted, is that there are paywalls to play games early that you are paying for. So what do I mean? If you want to play E-Day a week early, or you want to play Halo, or you want to play Fable, or you want to play, these are the games, I'm just saying Xbox games because I know what those dates are, right? I'm sure PlayStation and other people have these things too. But if you want to play E-Day early, you're gonna spend the extra $20, right? Oh, shout out to Jez. He said Lufthansa better than Delta. He's not wrong. But the point is, we've already accepted paying for early access to games. You're not owed a trailer. And if you don't have Netflix, it's okay. You can wait 6 hours. And guess what? You can wait 6 weeks. It is only a trailer. It is not money that you have to spend. And I feel like it is, and it's not towards you, Lucius, but it is a symptom of late stage capitalism that we could feel as though someone isn't allowed to show what is effectively a commercial at whatever schedule they feel like. Like we must see it. We need it so bad. We have to see it. And this could lead to, I don't know what. Like, what is the worst thing that this could lead to? Like, just game it out, right? When we say this could be a slippery slope, I say to where? Give me the worst example of what could happen with a trailer being showed 6 hours late. Like, what does that evolve to? That hasn't already happened.
Lucius.
Yeah, I mean,
at this point, we're talking about unknown unknowns. I can't give you that, right?
But if we
because nobody would have ever said, okay, skins in CS:GO will turn into gotcha mechanics where you're pulling for big titty anime girls. Like, nobody would have made that connection.
But here's the problem. Here's the problem with that argument, right? When microtransactions were introduced, right, people looked at it and said, if they're charging you for this, they can charge you for whatever else. That's an issue. They're going to nickel and dime you, right? That is not the same, and it's not even in the same ballpark as we're showing a trailer early to people that happen to have a subscription to something, right? Because the reason you're saying unknowns is because there is no harm, right? I could say when DLC happens, you're charging me for something, you could charge me for more. There is no harm or nothing that anyone can identify or has not identified yet that could come from time gating the release of a commercial. And that is why we can't think of the unknown, because it doesn't exist and it won't. So again, the issue, if we want to talk about slippery slopes is having 2 different release dates and charging you $20 extra for the real one. Slippery slopes are charging $80 for a game, but $100 if you want to access all the stores in it. That is the slippery slope. And I'm not saying this to be a whataboutism, but I can look at those things and I can game out. If you're charging for this now, you're going to charge for more later, right? The only thing you can game out with an early release of a commercial is, hey, they are saying you got to have a Netflix subscription to see this early. Then worst case scenario, they'll say we won't show any trailers to people who aren't paying for it. Guess what? Good luck not showing a trailer if you want people to buy your game. Right? It's not a real, this specific things. Yes, slippery slopes exist. Yes, companies will do whatever they can to get whatever money they can out of you. But a trailer is not it. Right? It's the money that is being charged that you're paying to the actual creator of the content that is becoming over monetized. And I am only saying this is not that. So
and you're also saying that the only person that they could potentially harm via the game theory and end game situation is themselves.
Yes,
because by not showing their product to as many people as possible,
ultimately they're losing out on customers. Yes.
Okay, well, we'll see.
Fabian, what are your thoughts on that? I understand that my brothers here have been a little bit heated in their back and forth.
No, it's cool. It's passionate. I love it. I think like these conversations are always fun to have. I don't necessarily have like a big take on this one, but I just think in general, the state of the industry is very weird. It's just like, it's very money driven, and everything is money driven. I should start by saying that, right? So, but I feel like in the era that we grew up on games, Lucius was bringing up a point about like, you know, those Xbox games that were sevens, but were still like really impactful and really cool. But I feel like if you try to make a game like that in today's day and age, it won't really do well monetarily, and that will cause those games to not exist in this point in time. And that's to tap into like what you guys are saying now about like, you know, this kind of paywall behind a trailer. It just feels like everything is related to money, and I think it's way beyond just the gaming sphere. It's like just the state of the world, that everything feels like it has to like generate some kind of money. So it just feels weird, I guess, when you have now an advertisement that you have to pay for to see this thing that you're interested in.
It's kind of wild where we find ourselves. It's almost dystopia.
A bit, yeah. Strange, you know? But I get where Ever is coming from as well. Like, I totally get that. But I think it's just, for me, just looking at it, I think it's just weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another thing that I would say is any other sort of product not named GTA 6, because GTA 6 is a one of one, anyone else would literally pay you to watch their trailer to try to have a chance to sell you something. To me, this is a generational thing, because it is a once in a generation release, and no one has as much hype, and I don't think anyone will, maybe until GTA 7 comes out, have enough hype behind a game that people would even consider getting a subscription to some other service, which, by the way, has thousands of pieces of content and literally over 300 million subscribers. Almost everyone in the US is subscribed to it, but that's neither here nor there. I don't think anyone else could do that. And so this is also why I think that this is a non-issue, because people want you to see, people want their trailer in your face. People spend money to get it in front of you, and this is the only game that can do the opposite.
That's true.
That's why I don't think it'll ultimately be a slippery slope to anywhere, except for GTA 7.
Well, I just want to point out. I just want to point out that people at the time did say that Oblivion, Bethesda were the only type of studio that could have done this, and CS:GO was the only game that was big enough to whatever. So the argument of the scale of the game being the only thing allowing it to be able to do this thing that we don't like has not worked out in the past, because that does not stop the publishers from attempting to do it. And if enough of them do it at once, it becomes like an osmosis situation where people just become used to it. People rallied against $70 games. Now $70 are the standard in a lot of ways, and people don't push back on that.
Right. I guess, but again, I think the argument that you're making is really paywalling early access. And I think that this Netflix situation with a trailer is getting the brunt of that argument when it literally should be anyone who charges extra to actually play a game early, because you're not paying Take-Two. And I would also add, I think they should charge for trailers and see what happens. Even if they did literally say, if you want to see the trailer for this game, you have to pay us $10, right? Because and again, you're not paying them directly, right? So if we're gonna have a loose definition of what a paywall is, you got to pay for your internet, right? That's a paywall to see something. That, like, Take-Two's not charging you, is what I'm saying. So this is why I don't look at this as a paywall. And even if they did, it's only a commercial. It is for the game. If they're over monetizing the game, and that does have slippery slopes.
Hey, relax there, Everborn businessman in here, making people put down their pitchforks. What's wrong with you?
No, I'm saying be mad at paying $20 for accessing a game early.
Yes,
don't be mad at a commercial. You don't need to see it 6 hours early.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And if you don't want to show me the game before you ask for my money, good luck.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys are ready to spend $80 and $100 on a game without seeing a commercial, that's between you and your God. I don't know.
That makes sense. I mean, it does. It definitely does. I think it's really like just monetizing everything is. It just feels like everything is being monetized today.
Well, indeed. All right. So because we are already in EA,
and Umbra, I did see your chats, by the way. I know you asked me earlier, so just yeah, I read the chat.
We're already talking about Rockstar. So I know you guys were also talking about Everborn. You guys were talking about the stuff that Strauss was talking about that brought about with the discs not being necessary for the consumer and all of this. You might as well address that as well. What do you think of that bit of news? Well, I mean, I think water is wet on that one because they're looking at the numbers. But
I mean, personally, the reason people are caught on physical media, the medium in which you get the content is actually irrelevant. What I mean, it's not, but like for collectors, but what people are really concerned about is ownership, right? So, and as we've discussed many times, I own this thing because it's in my hand, right? Possession is 9/10 of the law, or whatever, however that goes. Soil, keep me honest, right? So if there's nothing in my hand, you can take it away from me at any time. And that is the fear. And so if they were saying we're moving to, or if Strauss or whoever is saying, listen, you don't need the disc, but we're still going to ensure that you own this product and not just a license to it that can be revoked, then I think he's right. The reason people want discs is not because they like having something that is fragile and can be scratched. It is because no matter what, I know that I own this thing, right? And so that is really the issue that needs to be addressed, is how are we handling ownership in a digital future? And again, everybody collectively hated NFTs, but I will come back to it. This is what they would be good for.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So
I agree.
So digital ownership is the entire fight. Right?
Let me ask Fabian on this one real quick. Fabian, and this is not to put you on the spot, sir, but do you know if your game will be in GOG, for example? Do you know if they'll be sold in the GOG store?
That is a great question. I think it will be. I'll
Okay.
confirm that.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
but yeah.
Okay. Because so we ask because we've been on this show, we've been having these conversations for some time now. It kicked off with the whole PlayStation announcing digital games being the only way forward. Basically, they're closing up shop on their physicals. Some of us have been having this conversation for a long time because, as everyone says, it's not about the physical media. It's about the installer, the ownership of the game, right? So for PCs, the only place you really own your game is God. Right, that's where they'll give you the actual installer of the file
and
so
the
you can
high
install
seas,
it.
but I hear you.
We ain't talking about that, sir. Calm down.
Well,
It took me a second to get what you meant. Yeah.
I mean, speaking of the high seas, we know.
Oh boy.
We know what that. Like Gabe Newell said himself, that piracy is more of a service problem than anything else. And when
I think he got that from
things,
Steve Jobs as well.
Maybe, but like, if at the end of the day, if you make things too hard or too expensive to get, that's where you really see piracy flaring up. And piracy was actually at an all-time low a few years ago, like around the 2020 pandemic era. Piracy all-time low, because it was relatively cheap to be able to get all these services, get all the music, movies, television, games that you wanted. And then everything just started getting significantly more expensive. They started increasing the price of subscriptions. They started taking away people's movies, despite the fact that like it was a part of their libraries. And you do that 2 or 3 more times, and it's only going to increase people's willingness to infect their family's PC, so that way they can get something for free.
Yeah. So there was another part that Strauss talked about, and I don't know if you have this on the docket, but he thinks streaming will be viable within 3 years.
Yep, like viable as in the way forward for anyone and everyone playing, to the point where to the conversation we were having before, where you'll be looked at as a weirdo if you start using local streaming, locally versus digital.
I'm never gonna listen to a CEO when it comes to like what time frame,
timeline,
anything is going to exist, and the veracity of that time. No, 0 chance.
Yeah, as a person with. Anyway, I was gonna make a joke about Teslas, but like you can't.
Oh yeah, don't even do that. Don't even do that.
Anyway,
Too late
the
now.
point,
Yes,
the real point to cloud, whatever the time frame is, right? Today, if you go to somebody's house and you watch a movie, if they actually pull out a Blu-ray, you're gonna think, oh, you're one of those, right? You're a cinephile. You're right. You're not, like most people are gonna pull up a streaming app. And that's just generally accepted, right? And it's only the hardcore of the hardcore that are still using physical media when it comes to music and film. So do we get to a place in gaming where that just the streaming becomes ubiquitous? And the first thing that's going to go to everybody's mind is latency, right? But then I have to ask you, right? We just talked about like DLSS, whatever, and what NVIDIA is doing with fake frames. Like you get 6 fake frames for every 1 or something like that, right? So when do we get to a place of sort of predictive input as an answer for latency? Meaning we can render 6 frames for every 1. How about we render each potential input that we get, and then when we get the signal, that's the one that we show.
So it's interesting you mentioned this. There is some kind of technology, similar technologies happening. Well, there was before that side of the market fell a little off. Excuse me. In VR, they have a lot of predictive input, because when the cameras are not focused on where your hands are, it must anticipate where it's going to be. So they do a lot of predictive input to make sure the latency stays low. But I think it's not quite as straight of a line to do that in the sense with latency to a data center. But I have to do a bit of digging to see how viable that seems to be, but it sounds very, very easy on the page, but I have a feeling it's probably not as quite as simple as all that. You know what I'm saying?
What shout out to Pixelbit G. I don't think he's in the
sir.
chat today, but he was saying like Google was doing some of this with their cloud. I can't remember what it's called, but Stadia. And they had the best latency, and the reason for that is because they were using these predictive models to kind of anticipate where the player would move next. So when they actually did get that input, the latency was imperceptible to the user. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be below a certain millisecond.
Incorporated Orion,
for us to
if you recall. They also incorporated Orion, which was Bethesda's technology for latency, for streaming latency. They did a lot of work there as well. So I have a feeling that there's more to it than that. But between the predictive inputs that they're talking about, and also if you notice that Stadia had an input device, a controller that was Wi-Fi connected rather than Bluetooth connected, right? So it was directly like trying to bypass the hardware of your local environment, and that's how it would bypass latency. So there was a lot of logistical, interesting things they were doing to try and bypass it. I don't think anyone has seen the next gen level of latency input in that space yet. Wasn't there a rumor that Microsoft was even looking to release their own version that also did similar, where it would be Wi-Fi connected?
Yes, yeah,
that's the stuff
that's one of the things that
help
leaked in the
gap. Yeah.
ABK trial. So we know they were at least working on it at one point. But yeah, I think unless they're going to build a data center next to everybody's house, right? And they might be anyway, the way AI is going. But I think you're going to have some sort of predictive input modeling that, and I'm sure I'm not using the right term, but you know what I mean when I say it.
Yes.
I think that's how they will solve it. And I do believe we'll get to a place, because here's the other thing, right? You got a 4090, I got a 4090. Lucius, you got a high-end video card. We bought those right at the time where there were just a little bit too much, but not like stupid, right? If I were to go to buy a 5090, I have a 4090 now. If I were to buy a 5090 right now, it would literally cost more than my entire high-end PC with the 4090. Meaning you have to spend $3,500 to $4,000 for a 5090 class card, right? And I'm not saying everybody needs a 5090, but just relatively look at what you're paying for a 4080 now, or 5080 and things like that. And so like, I can't justify, and I'm the king of frivolous spending, even me, I can't justify saying I'm going to spend $4,000 on a video card. I couldn't do it. Right. And so I don't know when I'm going to upgrade. And it might be that the time that I have to upgrade, if Strauss is right, maybe cloud is the way. I don't know.
We were actually chatting about it in the Discord. What was it, yesterday? Where now people are really like going through the subscription pricing of, say, GeForce Now and a few of these other subscription services to see if it's actually worth just subscribing to them versus just buying your hardware, because those services tend to, at least for now, don't add additional cost for raising to the highest level. You know, the 5090 shows up, you now have access to 5090 levels of capability in the cloud. You know what I'm saying? Like, people are starting to think that is as a more viable option than going to purchase that hardware in addition to then, the game,
Yeah, I mean, I heard, shout out to Dusty in the Discord, but he was saying, if you pay $25 a month for GeForce Now, how many years would you have to have that before it equaled half the price of a
50 series card?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so, but that's what they want you to think. And by the time we're all thinking that, and never mind the fact that not every game comes to GeForce Now, right? Just because some people don't allow streaming licenses. But once they've basically priced everyone out on local hardware, you think that price is going to stay at $25 a month? They are in user acquisition mode now.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Once you hit market saturation mode, that's when you turn the screws.
Then you start squeezing them. Then you start squeezing them little by little. Yeah, indeed.
So
Fabian, I have to ask you, sir. You're an aspiring a developer, planning to release a game. How do you find this world where it seems like physical is disappearing? Like, how does that square with you on your side of the house? Right? As for us, we speak very much as end users who have a library that we're worried may or may not exist because we don't own those physical bits anymore. How does that look for you on your side?
It's a bit sad. Just as an artist myself too, I think the physical is also kind of a part of the art as well. Like coming up with the box art, coming up with when pamphlets inside the box art was a thing. There'd be lore inside of there, different kinds of art, maybe concept art within all that. And it was kind of exciting to not just have the game, but have something physical to look at and read and kind of keep as a souvenir in a way, especially if you really like the game. So yeah, it's kind of sad to see that it's kind of going away.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, some say chaos is a ladder, right? And what I've seen a lot of people doing is having these are indie developers as well. There's extra DLC where you could actually sell that art book, right? I've seen a lot of people find that as a sort of secondary monetization strategy. And your most ardent fans will buy it because they're in love with the world. But then, I guess we have to ask ourselves in those situations, is that considered a paywall, and should we be charging for? I think we should.
Yeah.
But these are the questions, people.
Now, Lucius.
Well, sorry,
I know.
Fabian, were you going to say something?
Oh, please. I'm sorry, Fabian, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I hear what you're saying for sure, Everborn, and it's hard to say if I would necessarily want to monetize the art book.
I would buy it if you put it out. I'm just letting you know now.
For sure, I think that'd be sick. Hell yeah! But I think I think more so just about the product as a whole, the game itself, and all the things that would come with it. I wish I was a developer in the time where physical was just the whole package deal was just there the moment you bought the game. Because I don't really think about the art book as a thing that I would want to monetize separately from just the whole package, if you get what I mean. But I get why people do it. But yeah, that's all I really have to say.
Yeah. No, I get it. You have old school sensibilities, sir. It seems like that is no longer something that people are looking forward to, or people are trying to offer the consumer anymore, which is becoming unfortunate and few and far between. Any thoughts on this, Lucius, before we move on?
Everything that Strauss Zelnick said, to me personally, is all about an ecosystem play where we own nothing, right? So people like Strauss Zelnick will win if he never has to make a GTA ever again. If GTA 6 is the last GTA and it becomes a Fortnite-esque metaverse in some capacity, then he's won. He's they never have to make a game again. So
true.
This whole idea of streaming being the main way that you gain access to this stuff, it's just about slowly but surely removing you from whatever particular ecosystem that you're in, and then the game becomes the ecosystem itself, in the same way that Fortnite has. So that's what he wants, because then he doesn't have to make a game again. So I'm not going to believe anything that he says, because these are just hopes and dreams coming out of his mouth.
Hey, it is what it is. That's a very interesting thing. I like that. That's
So,
good.
Just a question: when did we stop getting art books, like the instruction manuals in games? Like, when was the last time we remember actually getting those, like real ones? Because they used to be in color, then they weren't in color, then they just were like a sheet of paper.
I'd say
and
during the 360 gen was the last time we really got one. Like
Xbox
I'm looking at
360.
my Xbox 360 cartridges over there. They still had art books in them. Yeah, like manuals in them. And I would imagine that maybe currently some Switch games still come with that, but barely.
Because here's the thing. I remember, because the gaming industry has always been a little scummy, where they were trying to do everything that they possibly could. I remember in the middle of the Xbox 360 generation, when Mass Effect 2 came out, EA was trying that like weird tactic where they're just like, they didn't want people to be able to sell their games and for it to be useful. So there was like the Cerberus network, and there was a code inside of the box where you had to, that code only worked once, and that's what like gave you access to like a bunch of other stuff that was attached to the game. And without it, the game was like far more bare bones, and it was just like, why do this? Like, why? But that was around the same time that I remember. It was after that books, like art books inside of the box, started becoming more and more bare bones. It's like once EA found out that they couldn't maximize on that standpoint, they're like, okay, what can we remove from the box to make this cheaper and cheaper for us?
So just the thing is, when we say, because when we talk about monetizing art books, right? And bear with me, I know I'm like corporate Everborn today. I don't mean to be that, right? But if you bought a $50 game in 1996 and you adjusted for inflation today, I'm not talking about a live service game because you didn't have those back then. I'm just talking about a single player game. And I don't think anybody cares about a art book for for Fortnite, right? They care about an art book for something like The Last of Us or a Halo game or, Zelda or whatever, right? But $50 from 1996 is $96 today. Or if we go to let's say 2007 in the 360 years, where you were still getting art books, that's also, and games were $60 then in the 360 days. Like that is also $96 today. And I only say that to say they were charging us for those art books. We should. Microtransactions weren't there, right? But I'm talking about single player games that don't have microtransaction is really where people are missing those art books.
You know what hasn't gone up with inflation? People's paychecks.
Yes.
So I don't give a
I understand.
That like whatever back then is equal to how much now. You know what hasn't gone up? How much I get paid.
I 100% agree with you. And I'm not saying like these people are right. I am saying this for artists like Fabian to not feel bad if he has to charge for an art book. That's all I'm saying. It's okay. The fans will get it because they want to support. So
yeah, especially for indie teams,
charge them more is what I'm saying.
Oh boy. So says Everborn entrepreneur. I can see it. I see it in front of me. I see it. Now, Fabian, what you should understand, this gentleman is an author. He releases comic books. He also is a developer. He has games that are coming out. So, the man speaks from his perch, which I suspect is similar to yours.
Hell yeah.
I understand what you're saying. All right. We're going to wind this down because we have to be respectful.
Vicariously, I'm just trying to justify for my future, charging for my future.
You know what I'm saying? I see what you're doing, sir.
I'll support you too, bro.
I see you.
Here we go.
I see what you're doing.
Black actors, let's catch up on
a couple.
Hell
Oh
yeah.
boy. Let me get you a couple super chats, and then we'll wind this show down because we want to make sure we're respectful of the man's time. A couple super chats real quick, and then we'll get the final story, and we'll get the heck out of here. Of course, the great Soil Tech, who's been a member for 26 months, he says, "Who is this? Ever
Kotek, like Bobby
Kotek slash." Damn, you don't need to go that hard on the man. We appreciate you. Damn. Okay. And then of course, Mr. Too Opinionated with a 5. He says we'll look at non-streaming the same we see physical collectors in the future. Yeah, we'll probably look at them like weirdos in the future. Probably, we'll look at them like, oh, you're one of those people. Unfortunately, which if we get there, that means streaming has become ubiquitous and it's good enough that everyone can use it. So that's fine. I'm still cautious of that. I don't know about that being an eventuality.
The amount of it, like we would need very good internet. Like, it's not South Korea where you have like 5G towers everywhere and it's relatively condensed. America is quite large, so to have
there are still people who pay so much money and they're getting barely a gig down. I don't think we live in that world. You know what I mean? So we'll see, but this is the future we're striving for. Shout out to Mr. Too Opinionated. Let's see. And then we have Pick on Fusion, who's been a member also for 25 months. He says, peace and blessings. Peace and blessings to you. Thank you so much for your support. And then, of course, Mr. Too Opinionated with a 2. He says, everyone can have exclusives, but Xbox, Lon, duh. I think he's trying to trigger you, Lon. He's letting you know this is how the world must be. Right? Xbox is not allowed to have exclusives. At least that's what some people think. And then, of course, the great Jez Corden, who is here with a 10-pounder. He says Lufthansa is better than Delta. Yeah, I think I agree with that. I've been traveling to Gamescom a few times, and I've been using Lufthansa. It's pretty good. Mr. Too Opinionated, he is very, very good to us this morning. With another $2 super chat, he says, "Get Microsoft, punch more." Come on now. They need positive reinforcement. You ain't got to punch them. We're just hoping that their UI UX gets better anytime soon. And then finally, we have the great Hollywood Rules with the $5 super chat. He says, "I won't lie, WinHance is working well for me. Question, are the updates I was doing in Armory Crate being automatically done? Thank you, bot." I will say it depends on the handheld that you have. Well, since you say you're on Armory Crate, most likely you have the Xbox Ally or one of the original ones. They do the same updates that Armory Crate was doing. They pull in those same updates. So even if you don't have Armory Crate running, it will pull in the updates for that specific handheld. It doesn't do for all of them, but I think for Asus and for MSI, they've started pulling those in. So you never have to actually go to Armory Crate. So there's that. Shout out to the great Paris Lily. He's in the chat and he says, what? Oh my God. Sonic is the Intellivision of modern gaming. How are we supposed to take that? That is just wild, sir. That's wild. Everborn, I think he's trying to pull you on that one. Anyway, shout out to Paris Lily. But all right,
your bait will not work today, sir.
Before we get out of here, I have.
But you can't come on, and then I can interrupt you.
Oh, stop it! Don't be that. Don't be that person. Don't be that person. I want to be respectful of Fabian's time. I wanted to talk one last story, and maybe we'll do that before or after. You can decide, Fabian. It sounds like EA, speaking of EA, is thinking of selling BioWare. Now, I know some of us in here are huge fans of BioWare, so I wanted to have that conversation real quick. But Fabian, I will let you. I'll let you decide. Do you want to take your leave now, or would you want to do it after?
I can stay. Let me just grab something really quick at my door. I'll be real fast.
Okay, yeah. Take your time. So let's get into that real quick. And I wished that the great Slow-Mo Backslap was here when we had this conversation. Because anytime anybody says BioWare and you say it multiple times, Slow-Mo Backslap feels a tingling in his neck, and the Spider-Man starts tingling. He just shows up.
He shows up and starts apologizing.
He might come back.
He shows up and starts apologizing.
All right, but listen.
Okay, good.
I don't know who would be the right. First of all, who's left at BioWare, right? Because I know they've had a lot of turnover, and then after what do you call it? Launch Dragon Age, the Veil Guard. They lost a lot more people, and now allegedly they're on to the next Mass Effect, but we don't know how that's going. And then like they're probably going to be beat to the punch by these other 2 games that are coming out. What is it? Exodus and the Expanse game.
Expanse, yep, the Expanse game.
Yeah.
Yep,
So
yep.
all of that's happening. So again,
so the highlights, real quick.
Yeah.
It says EA could sell BioWare and some other IPs under the Saudi Arabia takeover. There could be mass layoffs. Obviously, whenever you buy and sell, this is going to happen. There'll be mass layoffs as the gaming giant to cut costs and do more studio closures might happen. And then the company previously tried to sell BioWare in 2025, but the talks eventually fell through. So
because what are you buying when you're saying BioWare, right?
What are you buying? What are you selling? I'm sorry.
No. I mean, just if you think about it, right? You have the company that made Anthem, and then they have Mass Effect. But when was the last Mass Effect, right?
Andromeda, and that was 20. 20
was a decade ago.
A bit of a Stankonia in people's mouths, right? Left people unhappy.
So, and then you have Dragon Age, but when you see what happened with the last one, what are you really getting now? Back in the day before they sold them to EA, I wanted Xbox. When in the 360 days, I was mad that they went to EA because Mass Effects launched as a 360 exclusive, and I thought they should have, brought that in house, but they didn't. And we've seen where they've gone, and I definitely wouldn't say today's Xbox should acquire them. So, one, who would be a good fit, and then who would want them, and then who would be a good fit.
It sounds Everborn Saga. It sounds like Big Mad Mo is taking the role of Slow Mo Backslap in the chat. He says Anthem was fire, which I don't disagree. The guts of Anthem was good, but then he continues to say he continues to say Andromeda was bad either.
No, Andromeda was dookie. No, the combat was incredible.
The combat was amazing.
The combat was incredible, yes. But like the story, the voice acting, the characters, my face is tired, all of it. There are so many reasons why Andromeda was not good.
I did not know Big Bad Mo was Slow Mo's sock account. I was
crazy.
Today years old when I found that out.
That's crazy.
It's either that or he
That's
hacked Big
nice.
Bad Mo's account. That's a shame.
Nice.
That is a shame.
Go ahead, Lucius. Answer the question.
So the answer is most likely CDPR.
That I could get behind because their RPG making skills and storytelling mixed with those IPs. But again, do they if they have The Witcher, do they need Dragon Age?
Maybe not, but they need Mass Effect.
Okay.
And I think that it's totally fine for that one IP to just stay in stasis for a little bit, but Mass Effect, people are fiending for a new Mass Effect, and I think that underneath the leadership of CDPR, they can actually make something great. And on top of that, what they're really buying is the IPs. They're not really buying the structure of BioWare or anything like that. And if we're being stone cold about this, most likely there will be plenty of layoffs before and after that sale, right? Mm-hmm. But the thing
in general that's happening, yes.
Yeah, and what you want is the IP.
Well, hold on. This is what I got to ask about this, right?
Yeah.
If I'm making this decision, right, and I don't need the talent at BioWare because I have my own talent, I can make my own RPG, right? How much is the Mass Effect name worth to me? This is a game that has not had a release in over a decade, right? And the last one people didn't really like, except for Big Bad Mo and Slow Mo. Slow Mo, Big Bad Mo. They're the same person. Oh my God. Okay, anyway, forget it. All right.
Lord
but the point that I'm making is couldn't you just make your own thing that has Mass Effect vibes and still get that crowd who wants a sci-fi RPG? Because we're seeing that happen with The Expanse and Exodus.
Yes, but they're happening because that Mass Effect isn't there. Having a Mass Effect IP on top of that would provide significant dividends. And I will point out, this is the same scenario as Bethesda buying the rights for Fallout.
Exactly. It's the name.
You're buying the name.
It's just the name. Yeah.
You're doing, obviously, you're trying to do an homage towards and doing it right. But I think at the end of the day, this would be a purchase that aligns well with that company.
So let me put it this way. And I don't disagree. I would be very excited if I heard that was who the buyer. I wouldn't be excited if it was Xbox or Sony, but I would. Actually, I don't know if I'd mind Sony. I would mind
if it's Sony because they've shut down too many studios.
Yeah, and they also probably wouldn't do it on PC day and date. So yeah, we don't want Sony doing it.
And they would make them do they would make Mass Effect into like a live service game rather than like a single player game, just based off
which is what EA wanted to do. But again, so here's my question. Looking at CDPR's name, a sci-fi RPG from CDPR versus a Mass Effect game from BioWare, what is going to sell more? We're just talking about brand recognition. One is brand recognition of an IP, the other is brand recognition of the publisher or developer. I would argue that the CDPR sci-fi RPG would sell more. So because of that, I don't think that they would need to buy it.
But you know what would sell even more? A
Mass Effect by
CDPR. That would make so much money. That would make an insane amount of money.
Sure, but the price
then you capture the new and the old heads. You know,
the price is going to have to be right, and that's the thing. Because again,
but I mean, all they're buying is the game. All they're buying is the IP.
I understand.
I don't think EA is gonna. The thing that EA
has $22 billion of debt. They're trying to get as much as they can get.
Well, here's what I'm saying. I don't think that they're really worried about the money initially. What they're worried about is their burn rate, right? And if you have all these people underneath you in a studio that you've lost faith in, then it doesn't really make sense to have all those people there when you now have this leveraged debt on top of you that you need to pay huge interest payments on. So by not having all those people, that already hits one of the huge check marks that EA cares about. So I don't think the price matters as much, because once again, the thing that they're really buying is the IP, and then EA gets to remove however many people off of its payroll and doesn't even have to worry about it.
Yeah, I don't think CDPR wants to spend that money. The last thing I'll say on this is, if it were CDPR, these Negroes take a decade to make a game, and The Witcher 4 is not even out yet. All right, I hear you, but you're not getting that till 2036. Jesus, if you're lucky. So maybe Witcher 4 ain't out yet, so 2040. If CDPR was to buy that thing, so maybe somebody else who could prioritize it. That's all I'm saying, because they got to do the next. They got to do the update to The Witcher 3. They got to drop The Witcher 4, and then the sequel to what you call it, to
but these can all be done with different teams. It can be prioritized.
Not really. That's not the way they work, and you know that's not the way they've been working.
Fabian, claw through all of the slander and ridiculousness. What are your thoughts, sir? How do you feel about EA potentially giving up BioWare, and who do you think should buy them if they should be bought?
Honestly, I have no idea. I think when I heard the initial news about BioWare going down, it's really sad, because I'm like, damn, I love Dragon Age, but the recent one was pretty unfortunate. I think from all Dragon Age fans, at least. So I don't know. I have no clue.
Except for Slow-Mo, but yeah.
No, I mean
Slow-mo?
Slow-mo gave it.
You
No,
don't know
no,
Slow-mo,
do that
can
to
you?
him.
Don't worry
Don't
about
do that. Don't do that to him. Slow-mo gave the game plenty of smoke. And
He's shooting bullets out of nowhere.
What was great about the last Dragon Age game is that the combat was incredible.
The combat was amazing. And the hair.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the best hair I've ever seen in any game.
Yes, the hair physics was incredible and the combat was incredible. One of the things that I really
The problem was the rest of it.
Yes.
Unfortunately.
But that's been the story of BioWare for a long time. Like the most recent Dragon Age, incredible combat, but everything else had issues. Anthem, incredible combat, everything else had issues. Mass Effect Andromeda, incredible combat, everything else had issues. So it's like, if there's anything that this team can do, they can do the gun, shoot, fucking dodge, all that stuff. That stuff they're great at. They need somebody who can take care of the reins and actually do the more
Tell a story,
things, which are like tell the story, create characters that you care about, create dialogue that isn't cringe.
Who
Create dialogue
don't get me
that isn't
started.
cringe.
Who'd think you'd need to tell a good story in an RPG? Anyway,
Well, that'd be Larian, or either Larian or CDPR. Those guys have proven that they still know how to be able to tell a story that the audience reflects with very well. So maybe one of the. Yeah. I mean, Larian. I don't know if Larian has the money or the wherewithal to be able to take another team like that or an additional IP, but I don't think Larian would be interested in making a Mass Effect styled game. They could tell a story, but I don't know. They haven't shown the Divinity thing that they're getting ready to make. That's going to play like BG3. So yes, I don't know if they want to make an action RPG. I don't know if they're interested. They have
telegraphed that they're no longer going to be associated with Wizard of the Coast. They're not doing the D&D.
Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, exactly. They're not going to that lineage anymore. So hey, maybe they're open to doing more interesting things. Who knows?
But they do. They own Divinity, right? That's the game. The next game.
Original Sin 1 and 2. They did those.
Is anybody?
And now they're going back to.
Is anybody thinking about trying that third-person mod?
In Baldur's Gate 3?
Yeah.
In Baldur's Gate 3?
I want to try it. My friend showed it to me recently.
No, it looks pretty damn good. I thought, I bought that game on Steam and Xbox.
And this is why we call him
a chance to play it.
And this is why we call him Frivolous Spender Saga, right?
Right. But
twice, barely played it.
I'm thinking about actually giving it a go with that mod.
You're actually going to tweak and twerk and put a mod on your game? Wow.
For that I don't know if you saw how that looks. Like it's
I haven't
really good.
I read about it,
and it really works. And what I want you to think about is, remember that twin stick shooter that came out at the beginning of the generation? It was like
The Descent.
Yes. Right. Look at all the detail that was in that. Right. Baldur's Gate has a similar amount of detail.
Sure.
And there are people that made mods for over the shoulder stuff in The Descent. This is not unlike that. So it's beautiful to look at. It is just design wise, there are certain things like seeing behind walls that you can't do in but I want to try it out. We'll see.
Everborn Saga will report back, possibly, maybe.
I'm not doing it no time soon. Maybe I'll do this when you guys are playing GTA.
Oh, but I'm not playing GTA. But that's neither here nor there. We'll talk about that another day.
Sorry, when Umber's playing GTA.
Yes. When he does his little WB thing. Anyway, let's move on.
Fabian, I'm sorry, we're full of inside jokes. You got to join the Discord to understand.
No, you're good.
He's part of the Discord. He actually has been in our Discord. For sure.
Okay,
for
good.
Sure. Yes.
He hasn't.
I'm trying to be more active.
Yeah, well, you should join. You should join in the voice channels. That's where the real slander happens.
Yeah, for sure. That'd be fun.
We do this
whatever
on a
you
weekly
do
basis and a daily basis.
Whatever you do, ignore Gamsley at all costs. It'll just make your day.
Leave the man alone, man. Just leave him alone. Anyway,
write that down.
He's our.
I'm just joking.
No, I know.
He's our residential troll. We love him, but don't give him too much. Don't give him too much attention.
I love
Fabian, sir, it has been a pleasure hanging out with you. Thank you for staying with us and all our ridiculousness through the entire show. For those who weren't here at the beginning, give us the elevator pitch for Demi and the Factor Dream.
Yeah, buy Demi if you like cool games.
It's that simple. Thank
That's
you.
That's laying it flat if I've ever heard it.
Yo,
absolutely. And
listen, if you're into games
uh,
like Wind Waker, right?
Mm-hmm.
These kind of sort of action adventure games like that, this is going to be the game for you. I played the demo. I cannot wait to play the full thing, and I hope he sells us an art book. And I hope you will join me in supporting that art
purchasing
book
it
because
right.
indie devs need to charge for that extra work. That's all I'm saying.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Yes. And don't mind that he himself is an indie dev talking about that. That's neither here nor no cross pollination going on right
mind
now.
Your business.
Laying the groundwork right now.
Mind your business.
Mind your business. That's right. Anyway, so brother, it has been amazing having you here, sir. Tell the people where we'll put your stuff in the show notes. We'll put where they can buy the game, where they can wish list.
Okay.
Oh,
look at this.
Oh,
another code
and another
journey
code. Oh, fantastic. Mr. Too Opinionated being too kind this morning. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. So yes, if you get that code, please thank him. And keep Demi on your playlist because we want in your wish list rather, because we want more people to hear about this game and potentially have a great launch. But sir, anything else you want to tell the audience before we get out of here?
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. The support and all the love from everyone that's been watching Twitch and on Twitter and all that. Like, if you want to find me online, it's Incarnate everywhere on Twitch, Twitter, League of Legends, Rivals, everywhere.
Fantastic.
What about on Dragon Sword? How did he find you there?
Oh, damn.
Dragon Sword. That is also Incarnate on Steam.
There you go. When the game is when it's coming out, if anytime you wish to come and talk, if you want to come back on the show, you know where to find us. Once you have that invite link, it's yours always. If you just want to come and talk games with us, man, you're always welcome. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Also, anytime. Let's see, a couple super chats before we get out of here. Alvin with a $5 super chat. He says, "Thanks for the gift." Oh yes, we're gifting away some memberships. Thank you to all the folks who are members of our Discord, of our fair YouTube channel. Thank you to all the people who are members of our Discord, people who leave us them super chats and all of that all the time. You guys work so hard to help us defray some of these costs so we can go boots on ground and present some really great content for you. So thank you so much for your continued support. Mr. Avaborn Saga, sir, where can we keep up with your ongoings?
Just the Discord for now. I'll have more to share later about New York Comic Con and all that jazz. But for now,
all right,
Discord.
All right. Now, Lucius, I know where you be at. I know we're also working on some interesting potential things for the channel and all that. Tell the people where they can keep up with your ongoings as well, sir.
Catch me in the Discord. Work's been pretty busy, so I haven't been able to be in the voice chat as much as I typically would like to. But the voice chat is where it's at. There's a bunch of rambunctious people there. Don't mind them. Just make sure to take your shoes off when you come into the voice chat. And don't bump into anybody because they might bump you back. But outside of that,
you say take your shoes off. I say don't step on anybody's shoes. Don't step on Tim's because how that goes.
Yeah, that's also true. But yeah, outside of that, really excited for PAX West in about 3 or so weeks. We're making appointments now. We're trying to figure some of that stuff out. And just like with Summer Game Fest, I hope that we get plenty of different opportunities to talk to cool devs, to interact with people inside of the industry again. Like, that's why I love doing this, is the real life stuff where you get to quote unquote rub elbows with the people who are actually making the art that you care about. So if you ever get a chance to if you're like local and you either, Summer Games Fest, play days like PAX East, PAX West, any of that stuff, if you have an opportunity and it's near you, just do it. And if you need to, like, I know that sometimes some of the tickets can get expensive, so if we find out like there's a discount or something, we might slide that your way. I just want more and more people in our community to actually go outside and meet us in some of these places that we're trying to rub elbows with. So that's it.
Yeah. The man's not wrong. Thank you so much for being here, Lucius, as you tend to be. Check out some of the great articles he's written on the gamingcircle.com. I'm sure there's going to be a lot more coming in that regard as well.
Hey, I'm sorry. I just got one
please.
question for Fabian. I'm looking at this animation, and this is not a whole new topic or whatever. Did you have to do any mocap for this, or this just straight animation in like
all straight animation? It's
nice.
Our boy Peter, he's doing his thing.
The way I saw that sword work, I was like, that looks like you captured that right there. Yeah.
There you go.
But anyway, I just wanted to. Yes. I meant to ask that before, but
beautiful game.
Continue.
No, it's all good. It's all good. We're at the end of it. Thank you, Fabian, for being here. Beautiful game. I hope more people keep this thing on their wish list because I'm excited for it when it comes out. I think that's it from us. Unless there's anything else. Thank you all so much for continue to rock with us and check us out every week. And I think we're done here. We shall see y'all next week. Peace.
Thanks for being on it.